Hello and welcome to Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. We are live from Hornet Field on the campus of Fullerton College, where your Fullerton College Hornets will take on the Golden West Rustlers. Fullerton College coming into the game 10-2. Golden West enters at 10-3 for both of these teams. It's their first time playing in conference last year. Golden West, 2015 Orange Empire Conference champions. Fullerton College, last time they were able to do that, that was in 2013 when they got all the way to the state finals. Fullerton looking to grab that top spot once again. You take a look at that Orange Empire Conference, and you see all of the teams are just elite in the California rankings. I'm joined now by the bearded boss, Josh Calera. And Josh, two of these teams, powerhouses.
Yeah, they're coming from the OEC like you were talking about. 78-25 so far on the season is the combined record for those eight teams, and all 8 of them are in the top 16 in Southern California ranked. It's going to be a good one here today. Golden West coming off winning the Orange Empire Conference last year. This is the first of 3 that they're going to play in a row against Fullerton, and that's how it is this year in the OEC. You play 2 games, and then you see that opponent for the 3rd time later on in the season. This year they decided to streamline it, so you're going to play that team all 3 times in a row.
Gianni Castillo at first, Michael Fuchs at third, John Shaddles in left field hit a 420 bomb just the other day. Chris Gilbody behind the plate, and at short is Tyler DePreta.
And the Fullerton College Hornets are going to line up as so out in the field. It's going to Brandel Ortiz, one of the big guns for Fullerton. He's going to be on the mound. Catching him is going to be Andrew Pereno. So move our way around the diamond there. Josh Balbuena at first, Lane Huffman at second base. They're returning all second team Orange Empire Conference. Brett Halash is going to be over at third, Justin Rowe at short, and then from left to right out in the outfield is going to be Austin O'Banion, Joey Parente, and Shane Carrier. DHing today for the Hornets is going to be David Miranda. So it's going to be a good one here today. Golden West comes in the conference leader at 341 for a team average. So it's going to be good. Fullerton is number 2 with a 331. So this is going to be a decent game here. We're going to see which pitching staff comes in, and that's how it's going to be every single game when you play in the Orange Empire Conference, the only conference that doesn't have anybody with a losing record into it starting conference play.
So just passing by us is legendary coach Nick Foscardo, over 600 wins to his resume as Philip Knapp steps into the batter's box to start this game off. Golden West is coached by Bert Villarreal. Randall Ortiz to step onto the mound and get this game started off. Philip Knapp once again starting center fielder, sophomore, batting .298 for Golden West. He'll step into the batter's box, right-handed batter. As Ortiz looks in for the signal. Corner's pinched in. First one is in there for a strike, and that's how we start things off. Fastball on the outside corner, and Randall Ortiz is able to locate it.
328 on the season. He's going to get on base. He's got 19 hits, and he is a threat to steal as he's got 4 stolen bases.
Next one is inside, but it catches the corner, so that brings the count to 0-2. Ortiz goes into the wind, delivers. That one is popped up into shallow right field. Coming on for it is Shane Carrier. He'll make the call, he'll make the catch, and make the out. So that's going to be the first out of the first inning. And up next to bat is Danny McGuire.
So we got a quick work in there, 3-pitch at bat. That's what he wants this entire game, does Randall Ortiz.
So Danny McGuire stepping into the batter's box, batting left-handed. As Ortiz delivers, that's in there for a strike. High up in the zone, just under the letters. So that brings the count to 0-1. Ortiz delivers, that one's inside, having to move away was McGuire. Delivered in there for a strike. McGuire batting .400, 7 RBIs. This is a team that really likes to hit the extra base hit. And here's Ortiz who fouls it off to the left-hand side and out of play. Fullerton College 10-2, Golden West 10-3. Both of these teams once again entering Orange Empire Conference play for the first time this season. And like you said, Josh, they're going to face each other 2 other times on Tuesday and Thursday as that one goes high and out of the zone. 3-2 is our count between Danny McGuire and Randall Ortiz. That's a 3-hopper down to short. Picking it up is Rowe, firing over to first, and Balbuena is able to make the catch for the out. That's the second out of the inning, and up to the plate will be Dylan Persinger, as Ortiz is already making quick work of Golden West.
Yeah, Dylan Persinger stepping up to the plate with a .417 average. You had mentioned it earlier in the game before the broadcast. He's actually already committed to Cal State Fullerton once his community college eligibility is up. So he's moving on down the street to go play for the Titans, and he can join Dylan Prohorov.
And Nico Castaneda as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rich team to play for, especially in the Southern California area.
Coach Vanderhook over there. Legendary status.
Getting things done. World Series champion winners.
Here's the 0-2, that's in there. Ortiz likes to work the fastball. Normally he'll stay outside of the zone to right-handed batters. Left-handers, he likes to bring in the off-speed, just inside on the knees. As Ortiz delivers, that one's in the dirt. Tried to pull the swings, but kept the ball in his hands just a little bit too long.
Dylan Persinger can also work his way on base. He's got 10 walks on the season, 1-2 count. Don't be surprised to see if he can somehow stretch this out to a 3-2 and really ruin Randall Ortiz's day.
Ortiz into the wind, the 1-2, and that one is spanked over to second. Lane Huffman picks it up, fires over to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. 1-2-3, Randall Ortiz sets him down. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net.
And that means that's going to bring up the Fullerton Hornets, and they're going to bat in their half of the first inning. We've got Joey Parente leading off, followed by Justin Rowe. Lane Huffman, who's been on a tear, is in the 3-hole. Batting fourth is Austin O'Banion. Fifth is Shane Carrier, that 3-4-5, very prolific this year. Josh Balbuena, followed by David Miranda, Andrew Pereno, and Halash is in the 9-hole. As steps up onto the mound for the Rustlers is Cody Marshall. Comes in with a 3-1 record, 27 Ks so far. He's got a couple of complete games and a 3.41 ERA.
So in the field defensively for Golden West, you're going to have Marshall on the mound. Behind the plate is Chris Gilbody. At first is Gianni Castillo. Dylan Persinger, who just bounced out to second to end the top of the first, is going to be at second base. Tyler DePreta is going to be at short. Michael Fuchs is at third. John Shadows in left field. Philip Knapp, sophomore, in center. And Danny McGuire is going to be in right. So stepping up to the plate for Fullerton College, starting things off, the leadoff batter for the Hornets, it's going to be Joey Parente, center fielder for Fullerton College. Parente on the season, 382, 14 runs. That's mainly because he has Austin O'Banion sitting behind him, Lane Huffman as well. As he scoots away from that one, brings it to 1-0.
Yeah, at one point that 3-4-5 combination of Huffman, O'Banion, and Carrier had contributed and been responsible for 50% of Fullerton's runs in a 4-game span.
The 1-0, that's in there for a strike. Powered it right past Parente. Left-handed batter is Parente. The 1-1 from Cody Marshall. Works rather slowly as he gets out of the box for that one. Brings it to 2-1.
Conserves his energy very well. It's how he's able to go deep into games for these Rustlers.
Marshall delivers the 2-1. And that one is spanked over to left. If it's fair, it's extra bases. It just carries a little bit foul. and it will bring the count to 1-2. So Parente just getting some metal on that ball, but it ends up carrying just about 3 feet foul down the third baseline. Count is 2-2. Marshall stares in for the sign. He'll fire it in there. And Parente swings at a high fastball, chops it down too short. That is going to be DePreta throwing it over to first, and it's in time. So that's the first out of the bottom half of the first inning. And Justin Rowe will step up to bat, batting .360 with 4 doubles on the season.
So far, the pitching is getting it done. We've seen 4 batters. We've seen 4 retired. One ball only really leaving the infield, but wasn't that deep.
Rose stares at the first pitch. That's a fastball high in the zone, but in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Justin Rowe, sophomore shortstop for Fullerton College. Him and Lane Huffman have developed some very nice chemistry right up the middle at short and second as he stares at that one all the way into the glove. Brings it to 1-1. Cody Marshall on the mound, sophomore, 6'4", out of Long Beach, Los Alamitos. Also started off at Long Beach State. That one gets fouled off and out of play off to the first base side. Stands very tall on that pitcher's mound, 10 inches out there.
It's good to see that the weather is starting to clear up a little bit. We had a little bit of a scare there, some sprinkles. Dots weren't connected, so we decided to play ball.
Rowe sends a one-hopper down to third. That is going to be Fuchs. Sends it over to first to Castillo, and that is 2 away. Lane Huffman to step up to the plate. 447, 7 stolen bases, 12 RBIs. Fullerton College has just done a very nice job, Josh, of getting on base in order to allow those 3, 4, and 5 hitters to be able to have these epic RBI numbers.
Yeah, the Fullerton Hornets have scored in double digits in 5 of their last 6 games. They scored 7 in that game that lost to Canyons, but they held them to under what they had been usually scoring. So Fullerton getting the job done on the base pass. They lead the conference in extra base hits, and they're going to hit you to death this entire time if you allow them. But so far, Cody Marshall's been doing a pretty good job here in this early part of the game.
Marshall throws a breaking ball, goes in the dirt for 1-0. This is the 1-0 pitch. That one is fouled off behind the plate. Lane Huffman in the batter's box for Fullerton. On deck, Austin O'Banion had a grand slam earlier this season. That was against LA Mission College. And LA Mission had walked Lane Huffman and able to get to Austin O'Banion, and they paid for it as O'Banion swings, hits it the other way. That's down to second. Persinger picks it up, throws to first, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, and no errors once again. That ends the first inning worth of play. Our score is 0-0. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV.
Now we go ahead and the field measurements out here at Hornet Field, as they've been for a while, and around the ivy. 334 to left. We've got that alley in left center at 366. Deep center at 405, 373. The power alley in right, and then 340 down the right field line. And we saw Chad Bible the other day when Fullerton was here against Canyons, and he hit a ball that flew over the 366 sign. He's a righty, pulled it over the 366 sign, and then in his next at-bat, he hit the opposite field home run over the 373. We've seen O'Banion hit one this year, that grand slam that almost landed over there on Scherbeck Field. With all the other people out there running track, probably had to duck away from a baseball bouncing out there, because that was absolutely tattooed. So they can leave the yard here, but so far, 6 batters, we've got 5 groundouts. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out. There's no sun in anybody's eyes. The clouds are out, giving us a nice cover. And we still got a lot of ball game left. And Bud Ortiz still on the mound, going to try to get himself another 1-2-3 inning.
And you know, Josh, speaking about the weather, you mentioned earlier that there was a little bit of sprinkles. That reminded me of something else that has sprinkles. Donuts. Zombie Donuts this afternoon, bringing you Fullerton College baseball. Zombie Donuts on 802 Chapman Avenue here in the city of Fullerton. They create specialty donuts. The Zombie Donuts, Chocolate Death, as that one gets spanked into right field, and that's going to be the first single of the day. That is to Cody Marshall.
I leave it to the pitcher to say, okay, it's time for me to decide when there's going to be a hit. Cody Marshall on the mound and up to the dish in today's game, something you don't see. There is a DH in college. However, you can get rid of that DH if you have your pitcher bat. And he went up there and saw the first pitch and took it to right field for a single.
So runner leading off first. Stepping up to the plate, that is Gianni Castillo, and he fouls that one away. Once again, check out Zombie Donuts at 802 East Chapman Avenue. They bring you this afternoon's Fullerton College baseball game. As you see, Randall Ortiz with the runner on first in Cody Marshall, pitcher for Golden West, leading off. Holding him on first is Josh Balbuena. 0-0 is our score, top of the second inning, and that one just goes outside with a fastball. Ortiz just tries to overpower most batters. Count is 1-2. As you see, Gianni Castillo out of Seal Beach High School. Ortiz to the set, delivers. Breaking ball goes in the dirt. Brings the count to 2-1.
Good way of blocking the ball there by Pereno. Don't see a lot of wild pitches for Fullerton or pass balls because their backstops are so good at keeping the ball in front of them.
Ortiz takes a look at the runner at first. Castillo swings at that pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Brings it to 2-2. 0-0 is our score, top of the second inning here at Hornet Field, campus of Fullerton College. Slightly damp day. A little bit of showers predicted for tomorrow here in the city of Fullerton. Lots of clouds. Some high cheese there. Goes out of the zone. 3-2. Full count to Gianni Castillo, Cody Marshall, leading off from first.
Count has been worked full after a quick inning. Got some movement here.
Ortiz delivers. That one is cued behind home plate. So count remains at 3-2. Both of these rivals have had some very epic battles in the past. Fullerton College, once again, 2013 Orange Empire Conference champions. The year after, it went to Orange Coast College, then to Golden West. Orange Coast, two-time defending state champions.
It just shows how good the Orange Empire Conference is. You don't even need to win your conference, and you still have a chance to win state. 3 years ago, Fullerton even played in that state title game.
That is strike 3 call as Gianni Castillo just stares at that pitch, doesn't even offer at it, and that is Randall Ortiz, first strikeout of the afternoon, bringing up third baseman Michael Fuchs.
26th strikeout on the season in 25 and a third innings pitched for Ortiz. So he's going to give you 9 per 9 and see how many he gets today.
High fastball in there for a strike. Ortiz, 7th in the Orange Empire Conference in strikeouts with those 26. Take a look at the left fielder, Austin O'Banion. He is number 5 in the state with those 20 RBIs. Next delivery, that's off speed. High chopper down to third. Under it is Halash. He has to hurry. Gets it over to first base in time. Balbuena with the stretch there, and Fullerton College is able to get the second out.
Yeah, Cody Marshall was able to advance on that high chopper. There was no way they were going to get him at second or at first. So Halash made the right play. He just waited and waited for as long as he could on that high chopper and made a nice throw to the other side of the diamond. Balbuena with the stretch, 2 outs on the board.
And Fullerton has shown so far this season that anybody that they throw down that third base line, has been able to have the arm to get it all the way over there to first base. It's a long toss as Randall Ortiz delivers. That's down in the dirt. 1-0, 2 outs here. 0-0 is our score between Fullerton and Golden West. You saw earlier in the season they also threw in Kevin Foley. We talked to him during the Fullerton College basketball season. Took a little break from baseball, came back. Now is splitting time at third base. Brett Halash over there right now. Nice play earlier as that is going to go just inside. 2-0 is our count, 2 outs. Top of the second inning, leading off from second is Golden West pitcher for the day, Cody Marshall. He got a leadoff single on the first pitch that he saw, sent it over to right field. Strike, swing and a miss. Brings the count to 2-1. Ortiz stares in for the sign. Andrew Pereno, his battery mate behind the plate, gets the sign, takes a look at second, and he'll deliver home. That one's a strike inside half of the plate. So our count is 2-2, 2 outs here, top of the second inning. 2's all over the place for Fullerton College as Randall Ortiz tries to finish off Golden West, limit the damage. Ortiz delivers, that one's off speed, high in the zone. Gets fouled off behind the plate and out of play. Ortiz wanted that pitch back, wanted a little more break on it. So the count remains 2-2 with 2 outs. Up to the plate is John Shaddles. Shaddles 333, has 8 strikeouts on the season as Ortiz delivers. Still battling up there is Shaddles. Hit a 420 bomb to left field the other day for Golden West.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely charged. It got out in a hurry. It's one of the longest baseballs that they had seen hit in a long time. Let's hope that he doesn't recreate history here on Hornet Field.
Ortiz comes set. The 2-2. High chopper down to third, having to hurry as Halash picks it up barehanded over to first in time. He makes the play.
What a play on all angles there. Another chopper that Halash this time has to run in and go barehanded with off this back foot. Was able to throw in Balbuena, helping him out with the dig at first. We're going to take a look at the replay right here. That's the second ball that's been hit this inning. That's been a high chopper on the left side, and Halash was able to get over there this time. He didn't need his glove. Bare hand going across his body. Balbuena with the perfect dig. Play it first, got the out, gets Ortiz out of the inning, and Fullerton's back up to bat.
So 1 run, or make it no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. 0-0 it remains, Fullerton College and Golden West. This is Fullerton College baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. All games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Wide assortment of new and used vehicles, Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, SUVs, and Highlanders, RAV4s, anything you can think of for Toyota, they have it down there at Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Check them out online at millertoyotaofanaheim.com or go to the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education.
So we have Austin O'Banion's going to lead off this second inning, followed by Carrier and Balbuena. We happen to get that far. David Miranda, Cody Marshall still working on the mound, as he will for probably a good chunk of this game. Both pitchers can go deep. So see what happens from here on out.
O'Banion steps in there, takes a look at the first one. That's going to go in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Austin O'Banion. Like you said, Josh, earlier, O'Banion and Carrier were responsible for over 50% of Fullerton College runs within a 4-game stretch in which they scored 46 runs.
It's a lot of run scoring in 4 wins. Obviously, and the pitching stepped up too in that time. They only gave up 7.
Marshall delivers swing and a miss from Austin O'Banion. Brings the count to 1-2. O'Banion, left fielder for Fullerton College. Right-handed batter, Cody Marshall, works very slowly, slightly towards the third base line. Off speed, goes outside, bringing the count to 2-2.
One of the 2 hitters on the Fullerton roster hitting over 400.
Very patient batter as well, is willing to take counts to 2 strikes if he has to. Pokes that one down the first base line, gets out of play, so he will be able to have another chance up at the plate. 2-2 is the count. Bottom of the second inning, 0-0 is our score between Fullerton College and Golden West here at Hornet Field. Marshall has to reset. Looking in for the sign from Chris Gilbody. Delivers, fouled out of play down the first base line.
So after a pretty quick first inning, the second inning, getting into some real baseball time. We're just drawing it out a little bit, as you say. Cody Marshall, very deliberate on the mound. He's probably always able to, like I said, conserve his energy.
Marshall delivers over the top. O'Banion spanks it, getting back towards left field, and it gets to the wall, bounces off the ivy. O'Banion will motor into second after putting a charge into that one, and he continues his hot streak here on Hornet Field.
Yeah, he got a good piece of that one. He's rewarded by ending up on second base. It's just a mistake there from Cody Marshall, giving him a fastball up, and O'Banion loves that. Driven deep out into left, flies over Shaddle's head. Shaddles couldn't do really much anything about it, just hopefully it didn't get stuck in the ivy. He would end up at second either way. Gets it back in. O'Banion leading off this second with an extra base hit.
So now Shane Carrier with 18 RBIs on the season, heading well over 350. That one's a breaking ball just outside. Marshall keeps trying to go to that breaking pitch on the outside corner, but none of Fullerton College batters has tried chasing it so far. The count is 0-1.
That's how they're going to have to get to Marshall. They're going to have to make him throw a lot of pitches and work out of the stretch a lot.
Carrier fires his wrist on that one, sends it down the third base line, 0-2.
Carrier had that 3 home run game about a week ago against Cerritos. Was responsible for 13 total bases. Pretty good outing, if you ask me.
And like we said last week, he tied a Fullerton College record for most home runs in a season, a record that has stood since 1997, April 29th, 1997.
Yes, before you were born,
13
sir.
days before I was born.
My goodness. Oh boy, back to baseball.
0-2 is the count to Shane Carrier, right-handed batter in right field today. He splits time between right field and DH, and that one is sent down the third baseline. It is fair. Digging it out is Fuchs, sends it across the diamond, and it is in time to catch Shane Carrier for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part about him is he put it to the wrong side of the field. He wasn't able to get O'Banion to get over. A good play by Fuchs, though. You know, he had to go and over the line. He's on the other side, just rears back, and Carrier just couldn't get there in time. Beats him about by half a step.
Great replay shot from the Fullerton College TV department. They have been out here all morning setting things up, allowing us to have these very nice replays. We thank you guys for being out here and braving the weather, whether it be very superior heat or maybe some drizzle. You guys are always out here as that one is sent into center field. Going back on it is Knapp, getting there just in time, and tagging up from second will be Austin O'Banion.
That was a good play by Philip Knapp. Happened to go all the way back, almost to that 405 sign, reaching up at the last second. It's kind of worked out well for Fullerton. They were able to get the tag, and O'Banion's at third, so you've got a man in scoring position for the DH, David Miranda, stepping up to the plate.
So that was Josh Balbuena who had the sacrifice fly into center field. That's how it will be scored. So Fullerton College right now looking to strike, bring the first run across with David Miranda up at the plate. Has struggled a little bit so far in this season. One of the few Hornets to bat under the 250 level. Still trying to work things out. It's still early on in the season. Hasn't seen so much playing time since they had Shane Carrier in that DH hole for the first part of the season. Fires his hands at that pitch, sends it down the third base line, but out of play. 0-2 is the count to David Miranda. 2 outs here, bottom half of the second inning. On the mound is Cody Marshall for Golden West. Fullerton College has a runner leading off from third base. That is Austin O'Banion, who had a double all the way out to the Ivy, just next to the 366 marker. Strike 3 as Miranda waves at a pitch way outside the zone, and that is how the second inning will conclude. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV.
And stepping up for the Rustlers in the top half of the third inning, we'll have Chris Gilbody, Tyler DePredit, who has committed to Houston Baptist. And then we're going to be back to the starting of the lineup with Phillip Knapp. So it's Ortiz out there still. He's waiting for Pereno to get back and get dressed up. He was on deck, so he couldn't put all of his gear on to get ready for the warm-up. So the 10-3 Golden West Rustlers, 10-2 Fullerton Hornets. And so far, they've split a hit each. Both teams stranded that runner, and it's kind of been a mirror image of the last 2 innings for each team. They both sent 3 the first time, 4 the second time, getting those lead-off singles, the lead-off single for Golden West, the lead-off double for Fullerton. So the way this goes the entire day, we're in for a long game of baseball, but it's good Orange Empire Conference baseball, so that's okay by me, right?
So stepping up to the plate is Chris Gilbody, and basically, Josh, any baseball is good by us.
I can agree with that. I'd be out here all day. Let's play 2.
Now, there we go.
Now, there it is. As long as the weather holds up, I can sit out here. We don't know what game we're calling for the second one.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to do all 3 games, both of these teams in this one single day, I wouldn't be too upset about it.
Talk about a lot of games. Golden West softball tournament going on today. Also here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Nayland and Mark Pavlovich, rest of the 145 class, down in Huntington Beach for the Golden West softball tournament. Games at 1, 3, and 5 as that one is sent right up the middle. And catcher Chris Gilbody has the first single of the third inning. First runner on for Golden West here in the third.
So that's going to have Ortiz work out of the stretch, bring up Tyler DePretta. Fullerton will go into double play depth. See if they can limit the damage here as Golden West is threatening early.
So Ortiz, like you said, Josh, into the stretch. Tyler DePretta showing bunt. Delivers. That one's right back to the pitcher. He's able to go to second. Are they going to go down to first? No, they are not. But they were able to get the lead runner as Chris Gilbody was frozen on the base pass as he wasn't sure how far that bunt went, and it went straight back to Randall Ortiz.
Yeah, that was a really smart play by Ortiz. A little bit of help out by Gilbody. He didn't know if Ortiz was going to make that catch off the high pop bunt, but he was able to throw down. He got the lead runner, which is the one you want to get in that situation. So here we are with 1 out, back in the exact same spot.
Ortiz delivers. Breaking ball goes in the dirt. This is Phillip Knapp in his second at-bat of the day. First time up, flied out to right field. We're in the top of the third inning. No runs for both teams. Golden West College has 2 hits so far. Second hit of the day was to Chris Gilbody, who sent a liner up the middle for a single leading off this inning. As Ortiz delivers, this one is a hit and run down to second. Huffman's only play is over to first, so the lead runner advances, but Fullerton College has 2 outs here, as Golden West will send up Danny McGuire.
That's the only play that Huffman has was at first. He had plenty of time to do so. The only way they were going to get out of that double play was by that hit and run. And I don't even know if that wasn't an outright steal. He looked like he was ready to go before anything. They just, unfortunately, weren't able to get him.
So Danny McGuire batting 435 at-bats. He's got 3 doubles on the season, 7 RBIs, looking to expand that, bring it to 8 here, as there's the runner leading off from second. That is Tyler DePreta, shortstop for Golden West. Ortiz delivers breaking ball in the dirt. Nice movement on it, but Danny McGuire would have none of it.
Golden West, defending Orange Empire Conference champions. Looking to do some damage early.
Delivered, comes off the bat head, so it will count as a strike. As a hitter, you always have to remember that if you're not going to swing at a pitch, bring that bat head all the way back so the umpire knows, and there's no risk of you going down in the count. Count is now 1-2 with 2 outs here. Ortiz delivers to home. Strike 3 call. Staring at it was Danny McGuire, and he wasn't happy with the foul tip call to begin with, but he ends up not even offering at that pitch for a strikeout looking. That is Ortiz's second of the game, and the score will remain 0-0 between Fullerton College and Golden West on no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with the amazing Fullerton College TV.
Andrew Pereno, Brett Halash, and Joey Parente are going to be trying to get Fullerton on the board here as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. So far, not a lot has happened. We had that O'Banion double last inning, a couple of singles from Golden West. Still plenty of baseball to be played. And both pitchers can go deep into games. Cody Marshall's still out there on the mound. I want to bring up that last at bat with Danny McGuire. He didn't like the original call of the ball hitting, there was, I guess, the barrel of his bat, like the knob of his bat. I think the umpire was calling that. And he looked at the umpire, and you could see him say, no, I don't understand that. And you knew at that point he was in trouble because that next pitch was right down the middle. He didn't even offer at it, and he's like, all right, yep, time to go to the dugout. So that was the mental battle that Ortiz won in that exchange. And Cody Marshall is about to step in and have himself a battle with Andrew Pereno here in the bottom of the 3rd.
So it's going to be Pereno, Halash, and Parente to start things off for Fullerton College. As Pereno steps in there, batting .217 on the season. Nice 12-6 breaking ball from Cody Marshall. Absolutely froze Pereno on that pitch. Brings the count to 1, or make it 0-1. Nice crowd on hand here at Hornet Field. Another breaking ball. That one's high in the zone, and Pereno has watched them both. So he's deep in a hole in this count, 0-2. No one out here, bottom half of the 3rd. Both these teams, Golden West and Fullerton, tied at 0 apiece. Infield slightly back. Pereno takes a look at that one just outside. Almost skirted the plate, but didn't quite get there. 1-2 is the count.
Yeah, Pereno's got to look alive. He's got to make sure anything he doesn't swing at is out of the zone because he's got to protect the plate.
Marshall winds and fires. Defensive swing from Pereno, just staying in there. That's something that Coach Fiscardo and his staff have done a really nice job of showing these guys what to do when you are deep in that count. 1-2. You see Carrier and Austin O'Banion. Over 85% of their at-bats go very deep into counts, at least 1-2.
And they're able to find a way to get on base.
As Moreno offers at that pitch, it's a 5-hopper down to short. Picking it up is DePreta, throwing it over to Castillo, and the put out is recorded, making it 1 out here in the bottom half of the third.
It's going to bring up Brett Halash, batting .324 on the season. Limited action over at third base today.
Halash, right-handed batter. Cody Marshall has only given up 1 hit so far. That was to O'Banion in that second inning. Swing and a miss from Brett Halash. Marshall, ERA of over 3 so far. It's exactly 3.41 coming into the game. That's set to go down. 27 strikeouts on the season. That's a 2-hopper down to second. Picking it up is Persinger, with his momentum going towards third base, is able to sling it over to Castillo for the second out of the inning.
Marshall likes to get his ground out. That's the second one this inning. That's going to be the 7th one on the day. So he's not going to get a lot of, 7th one on the day. He's of the 7 outs, 6 have been ground ball outs.
As Parente stares at that one goes way high. Fullerton College pitching staff so far in this season has really just given them a big hand. You have Junior Ramirez so far on the season, 1.04 ERA. That one's a dribbler out to short, picking it up. Throwing it across the diamond is DePreta, and the tag is applied by Castillo as that throw was down the first base line. So the out is recorded. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 0-0 is our score between Golden West and Fullerton. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net.
That's going to go ahead and bring up Dylan Persinger, Cody Marshall, and Gianni Castillo as we start the top of the 4th inning. All 3 of those outs in that inning were ground outs. And the only other, he's got 1 other strikeout on the day, does Cody Marshall, 1 fly out. But keeping the ball down is what he's doing. We only had 2 balls leave the infield for Fullerton so far. That was the base hit by O'Banion, and that was the fly out by Balbuena. That deep fly out in center, which could have scored a run had it dropped in. But Philip Knapp made the nice play to get out there and keep this a 0-0 ball game.
So Fullerton College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net, brought to you by Zombie Donuts and Bake Shop in Fullerton. 802 East Chapman Avenue. Zombie Donuts and Bake Shop creates specialty donuts. They have the Zombie Donuts, the Death by Chocolate, the ever so popular Eyeball Donut. They also have Fruit Loops, and perhaps you are maybe on a health kick and you want a vegan donut. They have those there too. Lemon vegan donuts as well. 802 East Chapman Avenue, Zombie Donuts and Bake Shop in Fullerton. Bringing you this afternoon's Fullerton College baseball game.
That Zombie Donut, was that the one I had this morning?
Indeed it was.
Had the filling inside of it and the glaze on the outside. And yeah, it's more of those, please.
So in the batter's box right now, second baseman Dylan Persinger. Grounded out in his first at-bat, sends a 3-hopper down to short, picking it up as Rowe across the diamond, but not even close to on time is the throw. And down at first base is Dylan Persinger with a leadoff single.
Yeah, an infield single, really had no chance, just how deep that was in the hole, and Persinger, a good runner, was able to beat it out. They've got something cooking here as we're in the top of the 4th, and Cody Marshall steps in.
Marshall in his first at-bat got a single out to right field. Left-handed batter, throws right, somewhat of a rarity as of late in the game of baseball. That's left-handed, throws right. Randy Johnson, in the major leagues, was famous for throwing left, batted right. That's a breaking ball that gets away from Pereno and down to second easily. It's going to be Dylan Persinger. You're going to see the replay.
He takes off. He got a good jump on it. There might have been a play down there, but the ball was in the dirt. Pereno couldn't handle it cleanly, and so moot point as Persinger ends up on second, is in scoring position for Marshall.
Ortiz delivers way outside. 2-0. The count to Cody Marshall. Golden West getting something together here in the top half of this fourth inning. Game has really had a fast pace so far. You were joking around with the production crew earlier on today as that one is fouled off down the third baseline out of play, that you were looking for a fast-paced game, maybe 1:30 finish?
Yeah, I was shooting for 1:30, call it a day. I don't think we're going to get there, but we are here in the top of the fourth, and we're about 45 minutes into the game. So who knows what's going to happen? Baseball is a very clever mistress there, so we'll find out what happens the rest of the way, but it sounds like it might be a long inning here if we can't get Marshall out.
Here's Ortiz delivering a high fastball, 2-2. He went down in the count earlier. Quick 2-0, but has been able to battle back. Marshall has that ability to swing the bat. 347 on the season, 15 RBIs. That one is outside. Full count. Runner leading off from second is Dylan Persinger.
They're not paying too much attention at Persinger. They want to go ahead and focus the man at the plate right now. He had a single in his first at bat on the first pitch, and here we are full.
Only one batter in Golden West lineup this afternoon is batting under 300, as that is ball 4.
Yeah, and the Fullerton, they only have 2 that are batting under a 300, with a couple of guys at 400 as well. 3 players at 400.
So stepping up is Gianni Castillo, first baseman for Golden West. Right-handed batter, runners at second and first. Ortiz takes a look at the runner down at second. That is Persinger. Leading off from first is Marshall. Breaking ball. They're going to throw it down to second. He is safe.
Yeah, that's a tough play. It's a tough call for the umpire. Fuscardo's not too happy about it. We're going to take a gander at the replay. See Persinger go about halfway down, tries to charge out, and yeah, you can't really tell at this point from this far away, but I don't think he got him in time, and if he did, he got him on the foot, but he was already stretched in there. So that's going to keep Persinger a little bit closer this time as he shows bunt again.
Halash in from third. Well in on the grass. Shows bunt, pulls it back. So you won't be seeing that bunt attempt here with an 0-2 count. And you know, if that throw from Pereno was right on line with the bag, they would have had him easily. But that throw was behind Justin Rowe. And like you said, just a little bit too hard to tell from this angle.
Yeah, it's something that maybe seen from a different angle, we might be more consistent with it. As we have a swinging strike from Castillo. He offers that one in the dirt. So a little bit of a break there for Fullerton. They're still able to get an out of it without the runners being sacrificed over.
So that is the first out of the top half of the fourth inning. And Michael Fuchs is going to be stepping up to the plate. In his first at-bat, he grounded out to the third baseman in Brett Halash.
Third strikeout on the day for Ortiz as well.
Low fastball just underneath the knees. Doesn't get the call is Pereno. Tried to frame it, didn't get it. 1-0 is our count with 1 out here, top half of the fourth inning. Golden West and Fullerton College deadlocked at 0 apiece. Runners on first and second. Ortiz delivers. Breaking ball, high chopper down to third. Halash ends up having it go into left field. The runner slips in between. And now the throw down to third. They got him.
You want to talk about something we see, something new every game we call here, Ryan. They don't get him out at second on the throw behind. They catch a break, that high chopper down the third base line. Halash just couldn't get back in time, which was just a tiny bit taller. But as Persinger's coming around third, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. He just blows a wheel. It's Sniper out of nowhere, dives into the ground. That's able to help Fullerton get that lead runner. So again, here it is. You can see dive back, can't get there. Perfect block of third, making up for it is Halash. Second out of the inning.
Persinger looked a little bit shaken up after he slipped. Once he got back to the bag, looked like he was in there in time, but when he reached out to put his hand on the bag, it kind of got stuck at the edge of the grass. This one's a chopper down to the third base line. Halash will pick it up, step over onto the third base bag, and that will end the inning. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with the ever-amazing Fullerton College TV.
So a lot went on and a lot didn't go on in that top half of the fourth. A couple of hits there for Golden West. That's going to bring up for Fullerton, Justin Rowe, Lane Huffman, and Austin O'Banion if we get that far. Shane Carrier. So the meat of the lineup is stepping up for Fullerton here in the bottom of the fourth. Only 1 hit so far on the day. Let's see what happens the rest of the way.
So our score is 0-0, and perhaps once this game is over, you just cannot get enough of baseball. Well, maybe you want to transition a little bit over to softball. Quite the exciting game. I learned that last night while we were doing the first part of the Golden West tournament. It goes all 3 days. But here on SportsNetUSA.net, we are covering Friday and Saturday. 1, 3, and 5 games. That's what we covered last night, and it will be repeated once again this afternoon. 1, 3, and 5 right here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Golden West softball tournament. Corey Nalen, Mark Pavlovich, rest of the class all down there in Huntington Beach, California. Basically the same weather that we're having right now, but just a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, this is pretty decent. I mean, it was a little bit hot, then it was getting a little bit of rain was popping up. I said, no more rain, we'll give you some more sunshine, and now it's a little overcast, but this is good. Also, another good thing, it's good to see that Dylan Persinger didn't hurt himself when he tripped coming around third. He's back in the game. He's still at second base.
So Cody Marshall delivers, as this is Justin Rowe stepping into the batter's box. Parente struck out swinging to end the third inning. Here's Marshall. That one is looped into center field, but just getting over, and to it is Philip Knapp. So Rowe put some good contact on it. Unfortunately, it just stood in the air for a little bit too long.
Going to bring up Lane Huffman, leading hitter for Fullerton, 447 coming into the day. He grounded out to second in his first at-bat in the first inning.
On deck is Austin O'Banion. In the hole is Shane Carrier. 1 out here. Bottom half of the fourth inning. 0-0 is our score. Just outside. Marshall has been looking for that pitch all afternoon long. Hasn't been able to get the call so far. Trying to frame it was Gilbody.
And Fullerton will key in on that as the game goes along. They're going to know not to take. They're going to know not to swing at that pitch.
As Huffman waits for that pitch, spanks it over to short. Picking it up is DePreta, and he sends it over to first base for the second out. So quick work for Cody Marshall so far of the Fullerton College Hornets. The only person he has had trouble with so far on the afternoon is the man stepping up to the batter's box. Austin O'Banion, in his first at-bat, sent a deep double into left field just under the 366 marker. Hit the ivy. Ended up going over to third base on a sacrifice from Shane Carrier. That one goes outside, same location as before. 1-0 is the count with 2 outs. Bases are empty. Banyan stares at that one, gets the outside corner this time. Austin O'Banion. Right-handed batter, left field. Batting .409, 18 hits on the season, 20 RBIs, and he has those 2 home runs. Fullerton College in the top 15 in the state with 6 home runs. As Marshall delivers to home, O'Banion swings and misses at the ball in the dirt. 1-2 with 2 outs. Bottom half of the 4th inning.
Ball bounced. Just trying to play some cricket. Couldn't quite get his bat on it.
Marshall with the 1-2. High pop up, way up, a mile into the sky. Coming over for it is Castillo, makes the call, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Hornets in the bottom half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Our score is still at 0.
It's going to bring up Chris Gilbody, Tyler DePreta, and Philip Knapp for the Golden West Rustlers. They single by Gilbody in his last at-bat. DePreta with that fielder's choice was able to reach first. They went for the force at second and got Gilbody. And then Philip Knapp on the day, he is also 0 for 2. The fly out to right and a fielder's choice ended up being the second out of that inning. So we're going to see what happens here. We're in the 5th inning. Not a lot of offense, and when there is, the defense comes up big in order to get the inning done with. Ortiz still on the mound for Fullerton, as we suspected. You go through, the longer he goes, the better he gets. And that's the same can be said for Cody Marshall, who's on the mound for the Rustlers. So 2 high-profile offenses coming into this game are being overshadowed so far by their defense.
And speaking of hits, I'm going to dub it the Miller Toyota car counter.
I like it.
Foul balls that have hit cars behind us in the parking lot. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and education. They bring you all games here on sportsnetusa.net. Fullerton College baseball. They were with us as well for Fullerton College football. Also with the Golden West softball tournament going on this afternoon. They support all games here on sportsnetusa.net, as that one is in there for a strike. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at the corner of the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education. 0-1 is our count. It's a bunt down the 3rd base line. Nice location. And that ball is thrown away. It will get out of play, and awarded second base is going to be Chris Gilbody.
Yeah, so I don't know quite if he was going to be able to get him with that throw, but either way, we're going to take a gander right here. The perfect bunt placed in front. Pereno popping up out of his crouch, kind of off balance, back foot, swung it up too far up the line, and as you saw, it went out of play. So that's going to have Gilbody wound up on second base.
So next up is going to be Tyler DePreta, starting shortstop for Golden West. DePreta, sophomore, 5'10", from Santa Margarita, went to Trabuco Hills High School. And that one is fouled back behind the plate.
So what they're going to do is, it looks like they're going to try to make Ortiz and Pereno do a lot of the heavy lifting and move runners over. They're going to put down the bunts to start innings. They're going to put down the bunts for sacrifices. They're going to small ball them, because they do have a lot of singles. Let's see if Fullerton can get out of it.
Official scoring for the last play for Chris Gilbody, as that one is popped down the 3rd base line. In the air, bounces foul. Alash watches it. So the official scoring is going to be a single down to first, with an error on the throw to Andrew Pereno as it went out of play. Getting
that 2 strikes again for the bunt try, so that could quite possibly get rid of it. However, there are no outs, so who knows how Golden West wants to play this. Desperately in need of a run, because as it looks right now, it's going to take one to win it.
Bert Villarreal, coach for Golden West, as that one is fouled behind the plate. With Tyler DePreta at the plate, already committed to a D1 school once his Golden West career ends later on this season. But Bert Villarreal has said that he likes to send his batters as soon as there is contact. If he sees that there's enough momentum going around a bag, he's just going to send a guy, even if it's going to be close at the plate. As Ortiz delivers, that one's a solid knock into center field. Over to it is Parente, makes the catch, has to fire to third. The relay goes down to Justin Rowe, and there will be no throw down to third. Easily tagging is Chris Gilbuddy, so he's at third. Only one out here, and any deep fly into the outfield is going to score a run.
So Fullerton actually got kind of a break there. The ball just held up in the air for too long, and that was able to let Parente get underneath it. It could be even worse, but we do have Chris Gilbuddy down at third base with Philip Knapp 0 for 2 on the day, stepping up to the plate.
Here's Ortiz delivering. That's going to be a off-speed pitch in the zone. Philip Knapp, sophomore, 6 foot, out of Huntington Beach, Edison High School. So very local to Golden West College. 0-1 is our count, as Randall Ortiz is on the mound for Fullerton College. 6'4" out of Fullerton Union, literally just a couple paces away, as that one is bounced towards second. Up and takes a look at the runner at first, or make it the runner at third, and throws over to first. Balbuena makes the first out, make it the second out. I'm all over the place.
That was that could have been the best, one of the best case scenarios for Fullerton. That play right there, the defense was shaded in to prevent from the sacrifice, the suicide squeeze there at home. You never know with this. Now they're going to be playing backing up because they only need the out at first. But that was able to let Gilbuddy stay at third. Fullerton still 0-0 here with the Rustlers.
Ortiz delivers. That one went way high. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs here. Top half of the 5th inning. 0 for both teams. 4 hits for Golden West, 1 for Fullerton. Ortiz delivers fastball, and that one is foul tipped behind the plate. Looked like a hockey deflection right there. Just put the bat in the way.
Make sure I brought my glove today. Left it in my bag. It's not going to do me any good. We've got this big giant net in front of us. But there's a hole in the net, and that's why I sit in this seat, Ryan. So you can go ahead and field those hot liners that come screaming at us.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block by Pereno. Getting in front of that one. Staring down Gilbuddy down at third. 2-1 is the count. 2 outs. No score for either team. Golden West and Fullerton.
It's the 4th straight inning where they have a man in scoring position.
Breaking ball just above the knees. Nice pitch from Randall Ortiz, and now there are 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top half of the 5th inning.
Big turning point. This is the biggest pitch to date of the game. Who's going to win this battle between McGuire and Ortiz?
That's a high chopper down to short. Getting over to it is Rowe, has to hurry, and he gets the out at first. So that will end the inning, and Fullerton College comes away unscathed. Our score remains at 0 on the board for both teams between Fullerton College and Golden West. This is Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base.
And that's a gutsy performance there by Fullerton College in that top half of the inning. That error at the beginning on the bunt, the base hit bunt, and then the error that was thrown, the ball was thrown out of play. So you had a man on second base to start the inning with no outs. They were able to work around it get the sacrifice where they were able to get the out. They had the ground ball, and of course that big giant ground ball that just put them out of the inning. Good throw by Rowe to get them out of it. So we're going to have Carrier, Balbuena, and David Miranda step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Fullerton Hornets.
Fullerton College in their last game, Lane Huffman went 4 for 6 with a double and 2 RBIs right behind him. Of course, Austin O'Banion, 2 for 3, or make it 3 for 5 with a couple of doubles as well as 2 RBIs. Shane Carrier went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. And Josh, we've seen Fullerton College be able to hit so well so far this season, but what's most impressive about that win against Mount Sac is that they were down 4-2 going into the 8th inning.
Yeah, they were down 4-2 going into the 8th inning, and then they absolutely exploded in that top of the 9th inning. Now, they got the runs that they needed to take the lead in the 8th, but they said, you know what, we're not going to take our foot off the gas pedal. We're just going to keep scoring because you never know when you're playing baseball in general. Not a timed game, so take the runs.
That one is hit deep into the hole at short. The throw is not even going to be in time. That was by DePretta. Valiant effort, got to the ball and was able to shoot the cannon all the way across the diamond to first, just not in time.
Good for Shane Carrier there to turn it into just hop it up a little bit of a notch there. He's able to turn on the afterburners, go into his back. Was DePretta. He tried to do the Jeter jump. Just couldn't get him in time. Maybe a slower runner, you may have had a chance, but as it stands, there's another infield single in this game. The second one so far. Only the second hit for Fullerton in general.
So here is Cody Marshall on the mound. At the plate, David Miranda, or make it Josh Balbuena, who waves at the first pitch, misses it badly, and that goes to 0-1.
327 on the season for Balbuena. He had a sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. It's been that long since his at-bat. That's how effective Cody Marshall has been today on the mound.
Balbuena, sophomore, also went to Fullerton Union High School, just over our left shoulder, right across the street. You can hear a little bit of the ambiance from a softball game over the right center field fence. Track and field having a big meet over the left field fence. Lots of sports here at Fullerton College going on this afternoon.
It's one of those rare colleges that actually has their fields on campus. You don't have to go to a separate location in order to see them play.
Unless you're Fullerton football.
Unless you're Fullerton football again. Right.
Marshall, that one is sent into center. Balbuena, this one will get all the way to the wall. It's going to bounce over. Here is Shane Carrier motoring around third, being sent by Coach Smith. The play is close. He's safe. The ball got away. Chris Gilbody, but did he touch home? They're going to rule that he did. Gilbody has yet to touch the runner, so they haven't even tried to appeal yet. And Coach Villarreal wants to make an argument that Carrier never touched home plate. But then you have the other side in which Chris Gilbody never touched Shane Carrier.
We're going to take a gander at it real quick here. The fun part of this ball just gets away from Phillip Knapp out in center field. It just keeps trailing. You see him turn on his burners. Carrier coming into third. You're thinking maybe they're going to hold him. He says, no, get in there. The throw to the plates, which might have to see another angle on it. I think he got in there. I think his hand got in underneath. Either way, he dropped the ball. Either way, he went with it, so that's why they were going to call him safe in that regard. Either way you look at it, Fullerton's on the board with a 1-0 lead as David Miranda steps up with a man on third base.
We're going to see a different angle in just a second as that one goes high and outside.
So we're going to take a gander at it right here from one more side. You see he puts a good charge on the ball. Carrier motoring his way around second. That's where he turns it up just a tiny bit because he needed to get in. So they wait as we see.
This one is sent into center field and easily Scoring from third is Valbuena. So Fullerton College has put up a 2-spot here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
So that's good back-to-back hits for Fullerton. They come in with 1 hit. Going into this inning, they get an infield single to start this, and they're a home run. The home run and a double shy for the cycle, as they're now up 2-0.
Up to the plate, Andrew Perino. Just a moment ago, a single from David Miranda. This one is bunted down the third baseline. The only play is over to first, so the runner goes up to second base with Brett Halash, the third baseman for Fullerton College, coming up to the plate.
So the first out of the inning, the sacrifice to get another runner in scoring position. Fullerton tacking on 2 runs already in this inning. Cody Marshall struggling just a tiny bit so far. Hasn't thrown a lot of pitches, and I think that's what Fullerton might be keying in on. The best pitches he's going to show you are at the beginning of the at-bat. As soon as the counts go deeper, he's giving up a lot of ground balls. With these, they're able to hit them just a tad bit harder.
Clouds above us, as well as seagulls on top of the field of play, as that one is above the chest lettering. 1-0 is the count, 1 out. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Fullerton College likes to score in bunches. Well, they're threatening here once again. Runner at second base in scoring position is David Miranda. He's going to try to steal third. The throw down the third, not even close. Miranda with a quick jump, and Cody Marshall didn't even take a look back to second base to see where Miranda was.
This was a stolen base from start to finish. Miranda, huge jump. He had a walking lead. He knew he was going to be in there. The throw, no matter how good the throw was, they weren't going to get him in that regard. So as they move a runner up, we've now got a runner on third with 1 out. And Halash still at the plate with a 2-0 count.
You always have to stay aware as a pitcher. Your job isn't just to throw to the batter. You also have to stay aware where the runner is. Now, you don't want to be distracted by the runner when you're throwing to the batter, but you also want to be sure that your third baseman is also communicating with you that the runner is going down to third. And it looks like Golden West is going to have a pitcher up in the bullpen.
I don't think we're going to see the full, depending on how many more he throws here, we might see 1 more inning out of him as he gets that strike on the outside corner. It's the first strike that's been called on that outside corner for him. A big part of it is probably because it was 3-0, and you've got to protect a little bit more than that.
Brett Halash, 3-1 count, 1 out, 2-0. Fullerton College leads. Runner leading off from third is Miranda. That's a strike in there, 3-2.
Gets that pitch, goes right back to it, and says, okay, I'll take it a second time. Now Fullerton's got to know that if it's thrown again, you have to protect.
Only 1 out in the inning. Halash, third baseman for Fullerton today, looking for another RBI. Fires at that one. Fouled back and out of play. Brett Halash, 324 on the year. Split time at third base. Fullerton College has their starting second and shortstop both in the game today. Daniel Turfs had been substituting for Justin Rowe for a little while. Here's a 2-hopper down to second. They're just going to go to first, but another run will score, and David Miranda comes home on the sacrifice hit from Brett Halash.
So the chopper here, it looked like Persinger was going to take it, but DePretta is going to come running over. Another high chopper. It's the 3rd or 4th we've seen today. See, DePretta says, I'm going to take it myself. Has plenty of time to get Halash. However, the run does score. Bases are clear. Fullerton is up 3-0.
So Joey Parente steps into the batter's box. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up, but this time he spanks a single into left field, just as the words come out of my mouth.
So Fullerton, after only having 1 inning where they didn't go 1, 2, 3 in the first 4, have now sent up 6 batters to the plate. Justin Rowe stepping in, 0 for 2 on the day. He comes up with a man on first and Fullerton already put in 3 on the inning.
Cody Marshall in some trouble here. There's a reliever in the bullpen. That is Junior Aguilar. Or make it Alec Harris. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs. Fullerton putting a 3 spot up on the board here at Hornet Field. Pick off at first. Parente is back in time. Electro music from the softball game, drifting on over to the baseball stadium.
Stadium feel here too.
No jock jams yet?
Jock jams are coming, Ryan. They're coming. See, Marshall's trying to focus too much on Parente right now, so he can face Rowe, Huffman, and O'Banion in the next inning. See if they can get out of it. He's already labored too much in this.
Pitch out. Gilbody drops the ball as he went to transfer and throw over to first. So Parente is safe. That ball goes outside, making it 1-1 with 2 outs. 3-0. Fullerton College leads on top of Golden West. All 3 runs coming here in this inning. 3 hits so far for Fullerton. Make it 4 hits. That one is outside of the zone high. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. Joey Parente leading off from first. In the batter's box is Justin Rowe, 316, 4 doubles on the season. Marshall delivers, popped up behind the plate. And we almost got to add to our Miller Toyota car counter.
You are just mean with the car counter there. People do have to watch where they park when they come here to Hornet Field. Last game we broadcast, we did have a car casualty.
Or just go down to Miller Toyota of Anaheim, check out the wide variety and selection of vehicles they have there. As Marshall delivers, that one is low. Here's Parente having to get back in time, and he does.
Yeah, they really want to get Parente out. They're focusing a lot on him right now. Just hopefully right here with the full count can lead to a mistake from Cody Marshall, and Justin Rowe can keep this inning going. You can never have too many runs against any team in the Orange Empire Conference, let alone the defending Orange Empire Conference champions.
Marshall, a very tall pitcher, 6'4". Parente goes, it's a hit and run, and that ball is sent into the Golden West dugout.
People diving and ducking out of the way. A little bit of a sting on it, a little ugly finder they call him. Full count. Parente will be on the move.
3-0, Fullerton College leads, 2 outs, bottom half of the third. There goes Parente, and Rowe sends it into the shortstop hole. Motoring around second, here comes Parente, no throw down to third, and Fullerton College once again has another rally going. 2 outs, bottom half of the 5th inning, and they have runners on the corners.
We're going to take a look at this one more time. Of course, Parente is going to be on the move with a full count. Rowe finds the hole on the left side. That brings the third baseman off. That was Fuchs, who wasn't able to be back there in time. And since Parente had the jump, he was able to motor all the way around to third to put runners on the corners. And that's going to close the book on Cody Marshall. And they're going to go ahead and have ourselves a pitching change.
So now to pitch for Golden West is going to be Rick Winfield. Sophomore, 6'3", out of Lakewood High School. On the season, well, we'll get his totals in just a second.
He's got a 4.32 ERA in 8 innings pitched, 9 total strikeouts. This is his 4th game. Now, he does a lot of cleanup work. He's 2-1 on the season. So he comes in when they need to go ahead and stop a jam and give them some quality innings in the middle part of the game. So he's going to be stepping up. Rick Winfield. We are going to double check who are they going to put into bat for Cody Marshall, because Cody Marshall is the DH. They got rid of their DH spot because they put in their pitcher. So it does look like Winfield is going to be staying in that spot for right now. He may have a pinch hitter for him. We'll see how long he lasts in this inning.
So Marshall on the mound. Behind the plate is Chris Gilbody, and up to the plate is going to be Lane Huffman. Last game, he went 4 for 6 with a double and 3 RBIs. He is third in the Orange Empire Conference in steals with 7. So once he's on the base paths, it is dangerous, as Fullerton College has 2 of their fastest runners, make it 3 of their fastest runners, with Parente, Rowe, and Lane Huffman all in the field of play. And down to second will go Justin Rowe, as that ball got away. He was already starting his motion towards second, and his momentum allowed him to get a great jump.
Yeah, was able to take off once the ball hit the dirt. So he was able to get the wild pitch there at second. 5 hits in the inning so far for the Fullerton Hornets, 3 runs. Winfield on the mound now. Cody Marshall was just retired.
That one goes low and away. 2-0 is our count. Our score is 3-0. 2 outs. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Fullerton College likes to score in bunches, and right now they have runners on second and third, both in scoring position, in Justin Rowe and Joey Parente. That one's low and outside once again, so there will definitely not be a green light for Lane Huffman, with Austin O'Banion coming up to the plate should Lane Huffman get on board.
Yeah, O'Banion waiting in the wings. Huffman knows he doesn't have to worry about keeping the count to his favor for too many pitches, as it's already 3-0.
Make it 4-0 as he works that 4-pitch walk, and the man of the hour, Austin O'Banion, steps up to the plate. All eyes are on him, as he already has a grand slam on the season in his only other at-bat with bases loaded.
So he's 1 for 1 with the bases loaded, slugging 4,000. 4 RBIs. Not a bad line there. 2 outs, big 2 outs that they got after the back-to-back sacrifices.
Winfield over the top delivery, goes low. 1-0 is the count to Austin O'Banion, and Chris Gilbody wants a word with Winfield. Something you have to strategize around Austin O'Banion. They want to pitch him away, but the thing is, none of these pitches away have been catching the corner, according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, they only had the 2 that he was able to get, and that was in the at-bat to Halash, and that was only after the count had been run 3-0. So we got something going on here. They're trying to trick play. Oh, I know exactly what's going on. As long as, is there a bees going on?
Swarm of bees.
Oh, a swarm of bees came out. I thought they were doing the thing where if you take off from second, as long as in a straight line from one base to the other, you can't get called out for running out of the base pass. I thought they were trying to trick play. I saw Persinger out there hit the deck. I saw
Lane Huffman
took out. I thought he had to use the restroom or something. He disappeared. Rowe ended up in short left. And then everybody decided to tell us, hey, there's a swarm of bees. I can't see them.
It looked like one of those stop, drop, and rolls.
I thought there was like an earthquake drill, perhaps. That was, so, all right, I think we've got everything back in order. I didn't see a swarm. It's hard to see from back here. Maybe there was just one. We are at Hornet Field.
As O'Banion stares at that pitch once again. He's got a, make it a 1-1 count. I thought there were 2 strikes, but, you know, if Lane Huffman is that fast on the base pass as he was to getting back into the dugout, Fullerton College is okay.
He'd have more than 8 stolen bases on the season if that was the case.
That pitch is way outside by Winfield. 2-1. The entire crowd and both benches are in higher energy than before. Everybody's still trying to laugh off that swarm attack.
Good, a little bit of a break of monotony. The secret to getting away from swarms of stinging insects is you run in a zigzag pattern.
And nobody told that to the people on the field as they all just dropped.
They dropped or ran
There they ran.
straight. You could see Winfield was confused as well at first. He was ready to throw out Justin Rowe for leaving second base.
That one went low. But we all got that sorted out, and now we're back onto the field of play. 3-1, 2 outs. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Bases loaded, Austin O'Banion at the plate.
He's sitting dead red fastball.
There's your fastball, Josh, but it's high, and it's fouled back behind the plate and out of play.
And that's a break there for Winfield and the Rustlers. As earlier, the fastball that he saw up in the zone, he put it into center field, left center field for a double. 9th batter of the inning for Fullerton.
O'Banion staring down at Winfield. Winfield looking into Gilbuddy for the sign. The delivery. Breaking ball. That's going to be a walk and another run scored for Fullerton College.
So Winfield comes in, proceeds to walk the first 2 batters he faces to give Fullerton here a 4-0 lead. So with 2 outs, they've sent 4 players to the plate, 2 singles and 2 walks to contribute to their now 4-0 lead. They have batted around. Carrier had that single earlier in the inning. He has a chance here with the bases loaded, and he's got some pop as well.
Carrier fouling that one right at my head, and I had to check my nose.
It was all right. You had to check your nose. Yeah, that's why you put your head down. It was good there. It was the fence here, the netting made the play for us, but that's strike 1.
I thought I saw bees.
Yeah, it was a bee. That's what it was. It was a bee coming at us. That's why we ducked down behind this netting. I was going to make the play, but I left my glove in my bag at home.
So Winfield stares in for the sign. Bases still loaded for Fullerton College. Carrier at the plate. He gets the fastball he wants, and that one goes flying into the Fullerton College dugout.
And that took a chunk out of somebody's hamstring. That did not feel good. That sound that made was not good. He's going to go. He's all right. He's hopping around. But unfortunately, that runs the count to 0-2 on Carrier.
2 outs, 4-0 Fullerton College leading Golden West. This inning has taken well over 21 minutes to play so far. Winfield stares for a sign. Infield playing behind the runners. And here's Carrier spanking one. It goes back. 366 marker is not enough to hold it. Goodbye, baseball. Fullerton College home run.
That's another grand slam for the Hornets. As Carrier, the 0-2 count, saw the fastball he wanted, said, see you later. Fullerton has poured it on here in the 5th inning and now lead it 7-0. Excuse me, 8-0.
And we're going to see replay. We have to see replay. He just squares it up. Goodbye. There was no doubt about it. Getting back for it was the left fielder in shadows. And it goes out of the park. No doubt about it. It went over the containing fence. And we have a new pitcher.
Yeah, we are going to have a new pitcher, and it's going to be Andrew Arledge that's stepping up for the Rustlers. They brought in Winfield to try to calm the storm, and all he ended up doing was giving up back-to-back walks and then a grand slam to the big heavy hitter and Carrier, his 5th home run of the season.
So Fullerton College, just when you thought that Golden West was about to take a big lead in the top half of the 5th inning, all of a sudden they come back with 8 of their own. Fullerton College can score in bunches, second straight game that they have put up an 8 or more spot on the board in an inning.
They've scored 7 or more runs in every game for 2 months, Ryan.
2 months.
2 months. Every game, at least 7. Even in their loss the other day to Canyons, put up 7. And that Canyons team was the first team to beat Consumnes River this year. So they are no longer undefeated. There are no more undefeated teams in California baseball. But that right there was absolutely tattooed. The hanging breaker on the outside, he just flicked his wrists at it. A little bit to the left of the 366 line, that high bounce, which means it didn't hit a vehicle out there. Didn't hit a vehicle because it bounced too well, bounced in the street. I hope it paid for parking at the meter.
So with that home run, Shane Carrier is now the lone leader in the entire state with 5 home runs on the season, and he has taken over the RBI lead for Fullerton College. He now has 22 on the season, which is second in the state.
And that's right ahead of Austin O'Banion, who just got his 21st RBI as well. So Fullerton with a lot of RBI getters in that center half of the lineup.
The 0-1 to Balbuena, that is in there for a strike.
I just want to bring this up, Ryan. Last year when we were just calling these games, I didn't get to call a single home run. And this year, you've already called 4, including 2 grand slams, as that pop-up to the right side is taken by Castillo. And finally, the damage is done. But what damage it was, as the Fullerton Hornets put up 8, as you see Balbuena just popping it off his hands there, and they were get out of the inning, Arledge being able to do what Winfield and Marshall could not. So after that whole thing, the Fullerton Hornets score 8 runs on 6 hits with no errors. They leave nobody on base.
Thanks to Shane Carrier.
Exactly, thanks to that Shane Carrier, where he just said nobody else gets to be on base. Here's a grand slam. Here's an 8-run lead for Randall Ortiz. And if you don't think the weight has just been lifted off of his shoulders, then you got another thing coming to you, because this is a very good Golden West team. And they just got to and Fullerton Hornets just got to one of their best pitchers in Cody Marshall and Winfield. They were able to go ahead and not let him come in and do what he was supposed to do. So 8-0 as they bat around. They send 11 batters to the plate, and that's going to send up here in the 6th inning. Persinger, Marshall will no longer be in the game. I think they might have Arledge back for him in that spot. They don't have a DH anymore. And then Castillo. So we'll see how it goes from here, but it is 8-0. And I think I'm gonna take over the play-by-play now, Ryan. I'm gonna take.
Sounds
maybe
good.
We'll get some home runs that I get to call. Let's hope it's not in the top halves of the inning, as it was the other day for you. So that's gonna be the first pitch from Ortiz to Persinger, the Cal State Fullerton commit, who so far on the day is 1 for 2. He does have a stolen base. He fouls it off for strike number 1.
Ortiz likes to work quickly. As soon as he gets the signal, he goes right at the plate.
And that one almost undresses him. He thought about making a snag at it. Decided, no, I'm just going to do a little jig and get out of the way.
You saw Persinger right there just fire the wrist through the zone. Something that is very undervalued about him is that he has great bat speed. That's something that Coach Villarreal told me before the game. He really values the bat speed through the zone. He's a very smart hitter and likes to look at quality pitches.
So we are going to have Cody Marshall still stay in as the DH. He is able to stay in at that spot per college rules. So he steps up. Hopefully he's thinking that he needs to help his team find a way back into this after doing what he did in his pitching half. But he is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk on the day. As we're here in the top of the 6th, 8-0. Saw 6 hits. We saw bases loaded walk, 2 bases loaded walks. We saw a bee infestation. Sorts of things here at Hornet Field on a Saturday as the count runs to 1-1. on former pitcher Cody Marshall.
I'll tell you what it is. Fullerton saw the Hornets, they got inspired, and they went right at the ball.
There it was, the Hornets coming in and doing their job, the home field advantage that a lot of other places don't have. So Ortiz gives up a leadoff single. Marshall at the plate. 2-1 count. And that's going to be driven on the left-hand side, not being able to stretch out far enough as Rowe. And just like that, back-to-back singles. The Rustlers have themselves something cooking here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Rowe was pinched towards second base, so he wasn't able to get there in time. If he was in his normal shortstop position, he would have been able to easily pick that up and toss it over to first. However, Fullerton College was anticipating the double play as normal. You go to double play depth, you want your second and shortstop to be just a shade towards second, and so his first step was towards second, and that's a single for Golden West.
So Gianni Castillo steps in, and he cuts and hacks. That first one missing there. Castillo coming into the game, batting .347. That's going to dip a little bit. He's got 2 strikeouts on the day. Of the 3 that Ortiz has, he's 2 of them. Ortiz checking the runner at second in Persinger. And Castillo looks at another breaking ball there, as he did earlier in the game, and finds himself for the 3rd consecutive at-bat in the hole, 0-2.
And Ortiz is just daring the Golden West Rustlers to hit that off-speed pitch. He's dangling it in the zone.
Checks Persinger again. That's going to be driven right to Huffman. He's going to throw over to Rowe. Rowe to Balbuena. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play, the 11th of the year that trio has turned. And just like that, there's 2 outs with a man on third. But it was a good, quick 2 outs. So you see the replay here kind of goes with it. He doesn't get the hat trick strikeout, but Huffman to Rowe to Balbuena. Like I said, we've sent it 10 times earlier in the season, and that's a big hand to Randall Ortiz. That's going to be chopped over to Rowe. He rushes in, fires off the back foot, and that's going to get Michael Fuchs at first base, and that's going to view it for the inning. So after 2 hits in the inning, back-to-back to lead it off, a double play and a grounder, get him out. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 man on base. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, it's 8-0 Hornets.
This afternoon's Fullerton College baseball game is brought to you by Zombie Donuts. Zombie Donuts located here in the city of Fullerton, just over our right-hand shoulder at 802 East Chapman Avenue, right here in the city of Fullerton. Josh, eyeball donut, cookies and cream, peanut butter donuts, vegan donuts. Perhaps you like more of a healthy tipped donut. Marshmallow donuts, Cocoa Krispies, and the other day when I went in there, I was surprised to see a Cookie Crisp donut as well.
Cookie Crisp? You had to say it too when you saw it there. You had to say it exactly like that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the idea of a vegan donut. I feel that kind of defeats the purpose.
It's delicious. I tried it.
It was good, huh?
It was delicious.
Well, if you think it was pretty tasty, I'm going to have to try it myself here.
Well, you can go to 802 East Chapman Avenue in the city of Fullerton, or check them out at Zombie Donuts on Instagram.
That's right down the street, Ryan.
Right there.
That's right there. Maybe after the game. So the first batter of the inning for Fullerton, we're going to have them. They did bat around the last inning. As we head here into the bottom half of the 6th, it's going to be David Miranda. He's going to foul the first one off. Do a little drag bunt for strike 1. Miranda, Pereno, and Halash due up here in the bottom of the 6th. He takes a look at a ball up out of the zone. 1-1 count. Miranda batting .206 on the season. He's got a single today, along with a strikeout that he had in the first. That one's going to be fouled back out of play to the left. Seems to be some action going on in the Golden West bullpen. as we speak. I don't think anything's going on in the Fullerton side. As of right now, Ortiz is rolling. Like I said, his defense coming up big behind him.
In that bullpen, it looks like it's A.J. Dean, 6'3", sophomore out of Long Beach.
It's a big boy down there working out. See if he has to come in this inning or the next inning. The Rustlers would like to save him if possible. That's going to be charged out into center field. Knapp's going to be drifting to his right and under it for the first out of the inning. So David Miranda just made quick work of, and that's going to bring up the backstop, Andrew Pereno.
One of the keys to Fullerton College's success so far this season is staying aggressive. As soon as they see a pitch that they like to hit, they'll go at it. Doesn't matter if they fly out or just get under it. You just like to see those really solid hacks going towards the outfield, and it's something that has allowed them to get so many extra base hits.
So Pereno looks at strike one. 0 for 2 on the day. Excuse me, 1 for 1. Had a sacrifice earlier. Pitches up. Looks like he has room over there at first is Castillo, and he'll pull it down. So quickly, 5 pitches into the game, into this inning, excuse me, we have 2 outs. And Brett Hallock stepping up to the plate. So a lot of the energy sucked out of, on one side at least, after that 8-run inning. Their second consecutive game with an 8-run inning.
That was one of those plays where Miranda make it Pereno. Once he hit it, he didn't know exactly where it was. Sometimes when you're swinging through the zone, you don't feel where the ball comes off the bat. So he didn't know whether he should run to first or not.
And that's going to be popped up on the left-hand side. Drifting into foul territory is Fuchs, and he's going to pull it in. So that's going to do it for the Hornets here in the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3 for Arledge of the Rustlers. As we head into the top of the 7th inning, you are watching Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton TV. They're doing a fantastic job out there today. It looked like we might have had a little bit of rain. They were struggling to get the bags on the cameras and didn't know what was going to happen. And then they just said, just kidding. They've been here all day laying down wires and making sure we have the broadcast that we have. So we thank them. As we head to the top of the 7th, John Shaddles, Chris Gilbuddy, and Tyler DePretta due up for Golden West.
All games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, parts and service, open 7 days a week for your convenience. Located at the corner of the 91 and Euclid, you can even check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and, most of all, education. And you know, Josh, one of the things that Miller Toyota of Anaheim sponsors here on SportsNetUSA.net is the Golden West softball tournament taking place today at 1, 3, and 5 p.m. right here on SportsNetUSA.net. So maybe you're listening to this Fullerton College baseball game on this nice Saturday here in the city of Fullerton, and perhaps you haven't had enough sports here on SportsNetUSA.net. Go ahead and tune into the Golden West softball tournament. Games at 1, 3, and 5.
It's going to bring up John Shaddles. So here we are, waiting on a little bit of difficulties there. And here we are, Ortiz pitching to Shaddles. And the first one's going to be finding that hole on the left side in between third baseman and shortstop. And that's going to be a leadoff single for Shaddles.
Shaddles had to fight through that one. Once he got contact with the ball, it was in on the hand. So really, that was just him forcing it out of the infield with pure will because he didn't have the greatest contact on the ball.
Chris Gilbody stepping up. He had in the 5th inning, he had that infield single that turned into a single with a throwing error. Ended up at third, but then was stranded. He takes low for ball 1. Game 1 of 3 against these two opponents. Next one's on Tuesday, the 8th.
Orange Empire Conference play is really going to be interesting this year.
And there's Huffman again, kicks it over to Rowe. He bobbled it a little bit, and then he threw, kind of just shuffled to it on the ground. They weren't able to turn 2. They did get the lead runner in Shadow's throw, and that's going to have 1 out as Gilbody ends up on first with the fielder's choice.
You see, Lane Huffman knows that the Copa America is coming up in the summer, and he wanted to display his soccer skills. He got over to the ball, just kicked it over to Justin Rowe. They were able to get the put out, no throw down to first base, but nice awareness by Rowe, make sure he kept with the ball.
That was a good play to stick with it. One of these days, I won't be afraid if a comeback are coming at me, Ryan. Today is not that day. But that is the first strike of the at-bat to Tyler DePretta. Shortstop for the Rustlers. 386 on the season. He works with Gilbody, who's on base for the 3rd consecutive time today. Swung on and missed the heater from Ortiz, and quickly the count is 0-2.
And you're seeing Ortiz just power it past these batters. All they can do right now with that fastball is just wave at it, put the bat somewhere.
That one runs in on Tyler. He thought twice about maybe taking one for the team off his elbow, but not at that speed, not right now. So 1-2. Gonna be popped up again. Oh, luckily there was a ceiling behind us. Saw a kid playing on a Razor scooter. Hit right above him, but he's okay. Count is still 1-2. Gilbody on first here in an 8-0 Fullerton lead. It's going to be popped up to the right side. It is going to get up out of play. So the at-bat stays for DePretta as he's making Ortiz work a little bit.
Fullerton College and Golden West, one of the great rivalries in the Orange Empire Conference, as well as Fullerton College and Cypress. Both of those teams played last year in the playoffs, and they played in 2013 for the state championship.
It was a tough loss to Cypress by Fullerton. As we had mentioned earlier, Orange Coast even got in the mix and has won the last 2 state titles. As DePretta fouls off another one, the count stays 1-2 after the 3rd foul ball of the at-bat. Now, if we were playing co-ed rules, you'd have only one more, and he wouldn't be able to swing at a foul ball. He throws that one down and in, not going to get the call. 2-2. Gilbody on first. He's been there. Compliments of a single in the 3rd, single in the 5th. Fielder's choice here in the 7th. That's another ball popped up out of play for DePretta as we're about to see the 9th pitch of this at-bat.
You're seeing DePretta just make a lot of defensive swings. Not really trying to get it in play, but waiting on the pitch that he wants. That's something where a batter goes up to the plate, he knows what pitch he wants from Randall Ortiz.
He fouls that one again off to the side. 5 foul balls in this at-bat. 9 total pitches. Hanging in there. Another foul ball. I'll have you know, Ryan, I didn't flinch at that one.
Yep,
Did you see that? Did you see that? I sat here stoic. I went to my happy place.
Zombie Donuts.
Zombie Donuts. I'm thinking about those zombie donuts. So here we are. The 11th pitch of the at-bat for Tyler DePretta here in the top of the 7th. So Ortiz have it in him to shut him down. He throws a breaking ball, and it's another ball fouled out of play.
This is something that the coaches don't really want to see. Randall Ortiz being worked here with so many pitches right now, 11 in this at-bat. It takes up the total pitches that he has on the game and makes his length go shorter.
And there's a swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside corner. DePreta goes down. Ortiz probably thanking his stars that he doesn't have to face DePreta the rest of this at-bat. Took 12 pitches, but Ortiz won the battle. There's now 2 outs with Gilbuddy still on first base, and that brings up Phillip Knapp. He looks at strike 1 on the inside corner.
That strikeout pitch was just a little cutter on the outside. DePreta was looking straight fastball inside. However, with that cutter, had a little downward motion, so when he waved at it, the bat missed completely.
Knapp 0 for 3, doesn't offer, and that one in the dirt. Fullerton with that 8-run 5th inning, highlighted by the Shane Carrier grand slam. That's driven, popped up at the last second on Halash. Looks like he ate it up towards his face. Good job of staying in front of it, though, because that could have been a lot more dangerous than it actually was. Phillip Knapp ends up on first base.
You always teach your infielders so that that they need to stay on their toes when they're at the third base line. So on that play, Halash was just a little bit shaded backwards, was kind of scooting back as he was looking to make the play. Thus his momentum was taking him back, and once the bad hop went up, it went off his shoulder.
There's Danny McGuire. He lifts this one into deep left center, and that's going to fall in between Parente and O'Banion. Gilbuddy's going to come around to score, and Knapp is going to come around to score. So just like that, first pitch swinging from Danny McGuire, he has himself a 2 RBI double. Going to take a gander at the replay.
You see Parente ranging over to his right. Goes to pick it up the first time, but doesn't. He stops because he thinks that the runners have stopped running. They haven't gone around third, but once he realizes that the runner was coming around in Phillip Knapp, he tries to fire it home. It was just too late. Nothing Lane Huffman could really do in terms of the relay throw.
So after a 12-pitch at-bat to DePreta to get the second out on a strikeout, he's giving up back-to-back hits. And Alpha McGuire, and he welcomes Persinger with a first-pitch strike. Dylan Persinger, 2 for 3 on the day. Ortiz trying to get out of here so he can hand the ball over. Someone probably in the dugout, the bullpen for Fullerton, as that one's fouled back to the curtain. 0-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Fullerton leads 8-2. Josh Calera here with Ryan Osborn, SportsNetUSA.net. Fullerton College TV giving you all these beautiful pictures. Ortiz checking McGuire. Did he go around? Yes, he did go around. So that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning, the 2nd strikeout of the inning. So after giving up 3 hits in the inning, they score 2 runs with no errors, and they leave 1 man on base as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It is 8-2. Fullerton leads Golden West. You're watching Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton TV as we head to the 7th inning stretch.
And you know, you take a look at Fullerton College's dugout, and you see Coach Nick Fiscardo, over 600 wins to his resume, has been here for over 30 years. Past 50 years, Fullerton College, only 2 head baseball coaches. Coach Fiscardo started off as an assistant coach under Coach Segoba, who was inducted into the Fullerton College Hall of Fame in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's a very elite club, the 600-win club is. Fiscardo sitting at 609, looking for 610 today. It's real easy to count this season how many wins he has as it climbs higher and higher. As he got his 600th on the first win of the season for Fullerton. So that's easy enough to keep track of.
We got to see him at the Fullerton College basketball games. That was a fun time. Like to hear Coach Fiscardo chirping away at the players, listening, enjoying the entire atmosphere that was basketball. He's not just one of those guys who sits around just looking at the computers and the rosters and everything. He's involved with the entire community and especially with the program here at Fullerton.
And that's what you need in order to turn out a successful program year after year, which Fullerton has done, having a nice little renaissance in the past 5 to 10 years, and that's going to keep attracting more and more talent to come play here. Because if you want to play the best, you come join an Orange Empire Conference team.
Easily the best conference in the state. And you talk to coaches around California, and they will tell you the Orange Empire Conference is the best conference in the state. You look at Northern California, not really. There's not a place that you say, okay, these are 8 solid teams.
There's no dominant conference, yes.
There are a couple good teams where you see 1 or 2, and that's nice. But you don't see 8 different teams that have the possibility to go to the playoffs. Last year, Orange Empire Conference, 7 teams to the playoffs, and the other team, Santa Ana, had a winning record.
That's pretty impressive for the end of the year to have a winning record for everyone in your conference. And the beautiful part about that is they were all highly ranked. In Fullerton, they made the playoffs, and they had a losing record in conference play. They were 10-11 in conference play, still ended up with 24 wins on the season. As we join Joey Parente here at the plate, a full count, and he fouls off another pitch there. So they're going to make Arledge throw a lot more pitches this inning, hopefully, like they did to Randall Ortiz.
A.J. Dean still in the bullpen for Golden West College. He's been warming up for the past 2 innings.
And that's another foul ball. So almost exactly like what DePretta went through in the previous inning. That full count, fouled off a bunch of pitches. This is going to be the 9th of this at-bat for Parente. And he goes inside out on it to the third base side. That's going to be a nice play by Fuchs, who comes up running and fires to Castillo for the first out of the inning.
That was more of a circular swing from Parente. He initially was firing high in the zone, but while his bat was coming through the zone, he had to make an adjustment since it was an off-speed pitch in on the hands, and he just got the edge of the bat on the ball and was able to poke it towards third. Just wasn't able to leg it out.
So that brings up Justin Rowe, 1 for 3 on the day. Had a single and came around and scored in the 5th. He was the run scorer on the bases loaded walk. Excuse me, no, he was the first run to come across on the grand slam from Carrier. As he watches a ball bounce in the dirt. Count is even, 1-1. Arledge in the full windup. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Comes up high. Doesn't offer at it as Rowe. 2-1 is the count.
You know, we talk about the Fullerton College sports program. Basketball season just ended. Heartbreaking way in overtime to Chafee.
And that's drilled into left field. That could be a problem. That hits the post. Home run, Hornets. Justin Rowe puts an absolute charge in that one. You might have to find him to fix the pole in left. Fullerton's up 9-2.
Well, Josh, you got your home run that you wanted for the season. Justin Rowe, once again, Fullerton College going to the power. We're going to see the replay in just a moment. 9-2, you see Justin Rowe jogging around the bases. He doesn't hit home runs often, but when he does, really putting a charge into that one. He got the entire barrel of the bat on the ball, and you're going to see A.J. Dean come in for Golden West.
They're gonna go ahead and bring in a new pitcher, but you can see that fastball just down in the zone. And you see Shadow's running back. He has no chance on it. Bounces off that pole out there. That one may have hit a vehicle after it landed, but an absolute blast from Rowe gives the Fullerton Hornets the 9-2 lead, and that's going to shut the door on Arledge for the Rustlers.
And if maybe we can see the replay again, you'll see Justin Rowe already ready for that pitch. He was looking for a low fastball, and that's exactly what you got. You could see it on the replay. He was rearing back, ready for it. Once he saw it, recognized the release point, and was able to fire the bat and got a hold of it. Knee-high fastball, easy one to lift out of the park.
Yeah, and he's all smiles right now in the dugout. He has found himself a seat after that long trot around the base pass, all 360 feet of it, but he doesn't get to do that slowly. He goes ahead and enjoys it. He gets his high fives and gives a 7-run lead back to the Hornets. So now we get to see Lane Huffman step up to the plate. He's got some pop, followed by Austin O'Banion, who we know has pop, and as we've seen in today's game already, Carrier with that massive grand slam in the 5th. So here's Lane Huffman. He's going to step in against A.J. Dean for the Rustlers. Huffman on the day is 0 for 2 with a walk. Came around and scored. Part of that 8-run 5th inning. AJ getting the signs from Gilbody. That one's in the dirt. 1-1. Good swing. A lot of offense from this Fullerton team this year. And they're showing it in this game as well. It's going to be a very, very fun season of baseball if Fullerton can keep up this type of offensive output.
Very scrappy team is Fullerton. They don't make bad plays necessarily, and I'm not talking errors, I'm talking about at the plate. They're not going to be waving at pitches outside of the zone or trying to make the heroic home run. If they get a pitch that they like inside, belt high, they will take it for a ride, but it's not something that you're seeing as a mindset for every batter going up to the plate. I talked to O'Banion and Shane Carrier earlier on in the season, asked them, if you're coming up to the plate, are you looking necessarily for that home run? They say no, not at all. They're just trying to get it towards the outfield, try to get it into the gaps. If the home run comes, the home run comes.
And the home run has come twice today for the Hornets. And Huffman's going to find that hole on the left side to keep the inning alive. That's going to be his first base hit of the day as we welcome Austin O'Banion to the plate. O'Banion so far on the day is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Had that bases loaded walk earlier in the game, as did Huffman.
The difference that you're seeing between Golden West and Fullerton College in terms of batting right now is that Fullerton College has been able to pull all their hits to the field. Like a left-handed batter, Parente sent one into right field. O'Banion twice has pulled the ball. Carrier went deep to left field, same as Rowe. Fullerton College is just getting in front of pitches.
And that's how you are successful. And that's how they're able to have as many extra base hits as they do in the season. So O'Banion chops this one, fouling out of play. So 1-2. 1-1. A.J. Dean coming in, giving up the single to Huffman. O'Banion at the plate. And there goes Huffman for second. That ball bounces in the dirt. He had that stolen all the way. Gilbuddy couldn't hold on to it anyway. So Huffman standing on second base. O'Banion didn't bite on it, so his count runs to 2-1. And Fullerton has a runner in scoring position again.
And Lane Huffman now in sole possession of second place in the Orange Empire Conference with 8 stolen bases on the season.
Very speedy runner. Will not be his last stolen base, I can already tell. As Banyan wanted that pitch real bad. They're feeding him pitches up in the zone. He's proven he can hit those to various parts of the field. And that one, he just pops out of play.
Outfield shaded towards right, even with O'Banion as a pull hitter.
They don't think he can get around on Dean's fastball. And that's going to run the count to full. So we have a full count to O'Banion. His third straight at-bat with a full count. So he's going to make pitchers work. That's how he's so successful. That's how he happens to have as many walks as he does on the season as well.
Officially so far, only 1 for 3 with a single.
And he swings and misses that one in the dirt, and he's going to head back to the dugout with a swinging strikeout. So Shane Carrier going to step up to the plate. That big grand slam, his last at-bat, gave Fullerton pretty much a stranglehold on this one. Doubled their lead from the 4 they had already gotten that inning. He is 2 for 3 on the day. Huffman at second after a single and a stolen base. And that one bounces away from Gilbody, and Huffman's going to find himself at third base. It just got that much easier to drive home another run for Shane Carrier.
Carrier can go up to 5 RBIs on the day. That's second only to his 3 home run game, in which he had 6.
So let's see what happens here. He could have another home run. And he could tie his season and career high for RBIs in a game. So let's not get greedy. And that's a fastball down the middle. 1-1 count here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 9-2 lead for Fullerton. Already struck once this inning. That one is up in the zone. Fouled out of play. Carrier probably kicking himself for swinging at that one.
Was a rising fastball. Carrier thought that it was lower than it was, but once he made the adjustment, he realized it was so high up. You just have to get contact on it, foul it off.
So here he is in the hole, 1-2. See what the delivery from Dean. That's another high fastball. This one he fights off to the right side.
And the reason why they're throwing him a lot more high fastballs is because as a hitter, it's harder to be able to lift a high fastball out of the park. It's almost always going to be a pop-up, very innocent play towards the shallow outfield. I can't speak.
It's all right, Ryan. And that one is drilled up the middle into the left side. DePretta stays with it, fires over to Castillo, and that's going to get them out of the inning. So after a few hits, they have 2 hits, including that long fly from Justin Rowe. They score a run. They leave a man on base with no errors. Fullerton, heading into the top of the 8th inning, is leading 9-2. As you're watching Fullerton College Baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, our Miller Toyota car counter continues at 2. We still have not seen one so far today, but Miller Toyota of Anaheim has new and used vehicles. Maybe you like a Camry or a Corolla, or perhaps you want something more of a hybrid, a Prius, maybe even a Yaris. Very good mile per gallon ratio. Or maybe you're like one of those guys who is really into power and you want a Tacoma or a Tundra. Miller Toyota of Anaheim has it all. Located at the 91 and Euclid. Miller Toyota of Anaheim sponsors all the games here on SportsNetUSA.net. You can check them out online at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and most of all education.
So here we are, Randall Ortiz still on the mound for the Hornets. He's going to welcome Cody Marshall to the plate. He's been pitched decently for those first few innings for the Rustlers. Kind of fell apart there in the 5th. But he is 2 for 2 on the day. He's reached base all 3 times. He had a walk sandwiched by 2 singles, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. And that is drilled into right center field. That's going to get all the way to the ivy. Running back there is Parente. And Chad Marshall is going to continue trying to do it all by himself here as he leads off this inning with a double.
You have to wonder if that battle between Ortiz and DePreta is going to affect Randall Ortiz, because after facing DePreta in that 7th inning, he gave up 2 runs, and now he already has a guy on second to lead off in the 8th inning. Watch for Coach Nick Fiscardo to keep him on a slightly shorter leash, knowing that he does have a very high pitch count.
Funny thing is that is the 7th consecutive inning where Golden West has gotten its lead runner on base. And they've been finding ways to get out of it, as that was the first strike of the at-bat to Gianni Castillo.
Out of Los Alamitos High School, Seal Beach.
And he chops it on the left-hand side. That's going to get out of play for strike 2. So that's what he's been able to do those last few times Cody Marshall has been up. Cody Marshall has 3 hits on the day, and he had a walk. Gianni Castillo has the 4th consecutive at-bat where he starts the count 0-2. So after giving up the hit and not getting the out that he wants, Ortiz goes right back at it, and he looks to get the K here, which would be the 3rd of the day for Castillo. That one's on the outside, not going to catch the corner. 1-2, and 1-2 is the count.
Ortiz in these past few innings has kind of changed what he wants to do up while he's on the mound. Not so much overpowering, but now trying to pick his spots.
And that one's jammed on him. That's going to be popped up to Huffman there. Staying put is Marshall, but they get the first out of the inning. So, again, the pattern continues, getting the next out of the inning after letting the leadoff man on. That's going to bring up Michael Fuchs, who is 1 for 3 on the day. He's got Cody Marshall in scoring position at second as they're down by 7. That's going to be a fastball in there for strike 1. Here we are, top of the 8th. We were moving pretty quickly in the early goings. It became a little bit of that. It's going to be a passed ball, and Cody Marshall is going to end up on third base. So a 1-1 count to Fuchs. Now there's a man on third for the Rustlers from Golden West, down by 7. Probably going to let Ortiz try to work his way out of this inning. Depending on how quickly he can get these last 2 outs, we may not see him in the 9th. It's going to be the 2nd strike. 1-2 the count to Michael Fuchs, the third baseman. Waiting in the wings, John Shaddles, 333 on the season. Ortiz gets the signs from Pereno. And again, we have one chopped away on the left-hand side. And they're not hitting these really hard. They're just finding a way to stay alive in these at-bats, making that pitch count slowly keep climbing.
They want to knock Ortiz out of the game. However, you look at the bullpen for Fullerton College. Nick Vega, should he step onto the mound, he already has a win on the season and a less than 1 ERA.
And that one is in the dirt. Ball 2. Fullerton looking to kick off Orange Empire Conference play here with a win. I do have them 2 more times this season. Gets what he wants. And that one is driven out of play to the right side.
Golden West continues to elongate these at-bats. They have a runner at third base, but they don't just want to drive him in. They want to make sure that they get the next guy on.
That's right. And you were talking about the bullpen for Fullerton. Get to that in a second. As that's drilled over there to Rowe. Rowe with the strong arm. Can't dig it out is Balbuena. And that's going to get out of play and go on. Fuchs is now at second. So what could have been the second out of the inning with nobody on is now one out with a man on second as Cody Marshall comes around to score to make it 9-3.
So after having a clean error slate in the last game against Mount Sac, Fullerton College with 2 here in the past couple innings. Justin Rowe on that one just sat back on it, and when he did throw, it was kind of an in-between hop for Balbuena, so it handcuffed him. He couldn't backhand it, so he tried to scoop it up, and it just bounces over his left shoulder.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was enough urgency in Rowe there until the last second, and that's what kind of forced the throw to not be where he wanted it to be. When I was talking about the bullpen, we have Louis Corral and Nick Vega. They've appeared in 7 of the 12 games, and they're averaging a strikeout per inning. So that's something to look forward to should we have to use the bullpen. Fuscardo would not like to, more than likely. Ortiz would like to see himself get out of this and move along. So an 0-2 count on the 1-for-3 Shadows. Fuchs at second. And a pitch is swung on and miss for strike 3. So let's hope that error doesn't come back to bite them too much. The run was going to score, so that was going to happen either way. So it is an earned run. That is a strikeout for Ortiz. 3rd in his last 2 innings. His 6th on the day. He welcomes Chris Gilbody, who's been all over the place, has reached base all 3 times. He looks at a strike. He's reached on a single with an error, and then a fielder's choice has come around to score in the last inning.
Gilbody, 5'5", sophomore out of Pacific High School in Cyprus.
And he drills that one into left field. They're going to hold Fuchs at 3rd. And Gilbody has reached for the 4th time, and that is going to close the door, I do believe, on Ortiz. So Ortiz pitches 7 2/3, gives up 3 runs and 11 hits. He's got a little bit of trouble here for whoever comes in. Men on the corners. There are, however, 2 outs. As Ortiz heads to the dugout with a 9-3 lead, still responsible for the med at 1st and 3rd.
3 runs given up by Ortiz, but only one of them has been earned. 2 errors for Fullerton College. Both of them have come around.
Well, let's make sure that they don't have any more this inning, as they're going to head to the Fullerton dugout. We do have Logan Lannon, who is stepping up to the plate. Is taking over for Randall Ortiz.
Lannon can do it all.
He can do it all. We did have a pitcher bat today.
There you go.
In the DH spot, so it's not too far-fetched. And I'm talking about that. But Lannon comes in, pretty high ERA at 7.71 in 2.1 innings pitched. However, he will get you 3.86 strikeouts when he steps in there, because he does have the 2 in his 2 innings.
Out of La Habra High School. Don't forget Golden West softball tournament right here on sportsnetusa.net. Games at 1, 3, and 5. So once you're done with this baseball game for Fullerton College, go ahead and check out the Golden West tournament. Corey Nalen, Mark Pavlovich, everyone else on the call in Huntington Beach, California. Lots of competition down there. Weather is cold, but the field of play is hot.
Profound. We are going to welcome Tyler DePretta to the plate. He had that, he had the 13 pitch at bat in the previous inning, and that could have been what drained him in that time. That kind of let it get away here in the last couple innings. That's going to be a ball. So let's see what happens here. Struck out his last at bat, DePretta did. And on first and third, and that's going to be ball 2. So we haven't seen any reliever really come in and do anything spectacular right away for either team. Looking in, that's going to be a strike. Runs the count to 2-1.
Lannon has an over-the-top delivery, kind of yanks the ball down once he goes to release it, gets some good snap on it.
That's going to be driven through the hole on the right side, and another run will come in. So Huffman just couldn't get to it. And DePretta finds himself at first base. Gilbuddy at second for the second run of the inning to take it 9-4.
That was just a cue shot opposite way, just trying to make contact with the ball low, almost hit the dirt, just got past Justin Rowe, trying to cover towards second, wasn't able to get there in time.
So Philip Knapp perhaps overthrowing a little bit on that pitch, throws it out of the zone. Excuse me, Philip Knapp is batting. Logan Lannon overthrew that pitch. The count is 1-0 to Lannon with the man on first and second. 2 runs have already come across, 4 in the last 2 innings. That breaking ball does not get the call. Fuscardo talking to the bullpen down there, maybe getting another person ready just in case this inning starts to get out of hand. The 2-out rally. And that's another pitch that's out of the strike zone.
Now you're starting to hear that dugout for Golden West come alive, chirping, encouraging, anything they can possibly do to get Fullerton off their game.
And he doesn't go. So that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. To walk, the bases loaded for Danny McGuire. A 2 RBI double, his last at bat. 9-4, the score here. Golden West has struck back-to-back innings of 2 runs apiece, including the 2 in this one. So far, 3 hits in the inning. An error coming back to hurt Fullerton so far. See how much the damage is. 1 for 3 on the day, and Lannon having trouble finding the zone right now. So as it is with Fullerton baseball, getting very exciting as we head to the later parts of the game. And that's another one out of the zone. So Fuscardo is going to go ahead and head to the bullpen. Just Lannon struggling. It's a tiny bit. He got that ground ball he wanted with 2 outs and DePretta at the plate. Since Huffman just couldn't reach it. And they're going to head to the bullpen. And they're going to bring in Nick Vega. So Nick Vega is going to step in possibly an inning earlier than he wanted to. But this is Fuscardo going to his big guns to try to close this game out right now. See if he can somehow get himself perhaps a 4-out save.
Something that you don't really see in baseball, substituting a pitcher out in the middle of an at-bat. Normally you'll bring in the pitcher right before he goes to face whoever it is at the plate. But this time Fullerton College realizing that if Golden West gets a hit here, they are right back in the game, put another 2 spot on the board, and they are to within 3. A double here could bring them to within 2. So they really need to go to Nick Vega, and Vega so far has been that guy that Fullerton College can rely on to get some strikeouts or some ground ball outs. He has a heavy slider, also has a cutter that goes in on the hands of lefties and away from righties. So he'll get a lot of ground ball outs. He earned the win in last week's, or in the game earlier this week against Mount Sac. So look for Friscardo to go to Vega here, and perhaps in the ninth, bring in Luis Corral.
So we'll see how many pitches he does have to throw. He does have the bases loaded, and he does inherit a 2-0 count.
That is Corral warming up in the bullpen.
Out there. They've got somebody else warming up out there. We'll get that in a minute. So Danny McGuire stepping up to the plates. 2-0 count. Let's see what happens here. 1 for 3 on the day. Nick Vega. It's a lot to work with here. Golden West trying to get into his head. Their dugout has come alive for the first time this game. They're down by 5. The first pitch he throws is a called strike. And you see we happen to have a little bit of a shouting battle between the two sides now. Both teams know how important it is to get conference wins, especially the first one of the season. Vega breaking ball does not catch the plates. It looked like home plate umpire wanted to call it. Didn't get it. Shaded. Double play depth. Vega gets him to cut and foul that one back. So arguably the biggest pitch of the game so far, Ryan, right now.
Runners will be going. You're starting to hear the crowd get into it. Both dugouts know the impact of this pitch. If it's a ball, it's another run in for Golden West. Strikeout here means Fullerton stops it.
And that's going to be a called third strike at the knees. Danny McGuire doesn't like it. He got called out looking in his second at-bat. That was the foul ball that went off the barrel, the knob end of his bat. He couldn't pull the trigger there. Nick Vega comes in with a 2-0 count, bases loaded, 2 outs, and gets the strikeout, gets Fullerton out of the inning, sends it to the bottom of the 8th, 9-4. Fullerton is leading. On that inning, there were only 2 runs, 3 hits, an error, a couple walks. But that's going to shut the door in the top half of the 8th. You are watching a very exciting game of Fullerton College baseball here on SportsNetUSA.net, brought to you by Fullerton College TV.
Danny McGuire throwing a little bit of a fit at home plate, staring at the home plate umpire, throwing his batting gloves down in disgust. He took off one piece of equipment at a time, took off his batting helmet, then threw down his bat, threw the batting gloves at the dugout, and staring at the home plate umpire the entire time. Nonetheless, Fullerton College comes away being able to shut it down. Like we said earlier, Nick Vega is that one guy that Fullerton can look to when they get in trouble late in innings and just say, Nick, we need you to be able to shut them down, and that's exactly what Nick Vega did. Came in there, got the strikeout that he needed, and got it looking. McGuire not happy about it, but Fullerton College comes away retaining the lead.
And he's not happy about it, but it was a good pitch. It was a pitch that was in the zone. It was a good breaker. And in full count, you have to protect the plate a lot better than what he did there. I can understand why he's frustrated. His team is losing by 5 runs. He is 1 for 5 on the day, including a pair of strikeouts. But at the same case, it was a strike he should have swung at. And that's probably what Villarreal could be telling him in the dugout when he head back. So we're going to bring up Balbuena, Josh Balbuena, David Miranda, Andrew Perrano here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Dean still up, and that's going to be a scorcher down the hot corner to Balbuena by Balbuena. But Michael Fuchs is able to stay with it and throw out the slow-running first baseman.
Fuchs tried to backhand it while turning his body away towards the foul pole in left field. He took his eyes off the ball. It hit the bottom of his glove, but landed right in front of his throwing arm and was able to pick it up bare hand and just fire it across. No double clutch needed.
So David Miranda takes a strike for his first pitch of this at-bat. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He fouls that one off, running to 2. He hit a single and came around to score. 2 more runs in that big 8th-run 4th inning. Quickly, he is in the hole, 0-2. A.J. Dean trying to stop the bleeding. He fires. Almost gets away from Gilbody, but that's going to run the count to 1-2. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
He short-armed it on that one. Didn't take as long of a stride as he normally did. So his shoulder dropped, and it allowed the ball to elevate.
That one is going to be a called third strike on the outside corner. Not too much argument from Miranda. He doesn't like it too much, but he knows he probably should have at least offered on that defensively or otherwise. But that is the second out of the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Andrew Pereno, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Does have a sacrifice. And he pops that one up, but it will get up out of play. In the back there. Oh, we saw on the camera. I didn't see any cars hit.
No cars, no cars.
Don't get out of tally to that Miller Toyota car counter.
Once again, reminding the car counter is when the ball hits a car in the parking lot. And so we advise everyone who get
to go to Miller Toyota, and that one's drilled up on the right-hand side. That's going to find that same hole as the last inning that kept Golden West alive. And Pereno finds himself on base with his first hit of the day.
Just went with that ball. It was outside, wasn't going to be in the zone, but he saw that there was a hole between first and second and just drove it that way.
So that brings up Brett Halash of Tesoro. He's 0 for 3 on the day as well. He doesn't offer at the first one. 1-0 the count. So Fullerton, with that 8-run 5th, added another in the 7th to answer the 2 that Golden West put up in the 7th. Golden West put up another 2 in the 8th. Had a chance to put more. However, Nick Vega came in with a 2-0 count with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And was able to get the strikeout of Danny McGuire. So that's going to be 3-0 on Brett Halash. And A.J. Dean wants to get through this bottom part of the lineup because it has been the first 6 that have hurt him the most in this game. And that's going to be the gimme pitch to run it to 3-1. 9-4. Both teams in double digits for hits. We knew that was coming.
Golden West prides themselves on defense. As Halash thought that one was in on the ankles.
He was doing a little dance. It was a pitch that caught the down and in. At this point, you're going to have to fight for your walks this late in the game. They take off, and he doesn't have to fight too hard, and that's going to be the full count walk, moving Pereno to second. So Fullerton keeping their chances alive to score 10 runs again in a game for trying to do for the 6th time in 7 games. Remember, they had that 4-game stretch.
Pereno was running on that one because there was really no situation in which he could have been called out. If it was a strikeout, that ends the inning. If it was ball 4, he's already safe at second.
If it's a base hit, you have to be running on anything with 2 outs. Can't hold on a pop-up in that situation. So that one's in the dirt. 1-0 to Parente. Rowe with that big fly in the 7th, waiting on deck. Parente takes strike one. Pereno on second, Halash on first. Fullerton leading 9-4 over the visiting Golden West Rustlers on this beautiful Saturday.
Outfield straight away. Just a couple steps towards center field.
And that one's off the ground. He chops at it. And they're going to call it a foul ball. He got really lucky there. Both sides actually got pretty lucky as he wasn't hustling down the first base line. And then Castillo couldn't field that cleanly. So who knows what would have happened with that circus. However, it's just going to be a strike to bring the count to 1-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning. Fullerton up by 5 runs.
Once again, we want to thank the camera crew and all the TV department that came out here today. A little bit of rain earlier on in the broadcast, but they got through it, and they're giving you these great shots today.
And that's going to be another chopper to Castillo at first, but this one's going to stay in play, and Parente is going to be the victim of the 3 unassisted. So that's going to do it through 8 innings. No runs on 1 hit with no errors in the bottom half of the 8th. As we head to the top of the 9th, hopefully is the end for Fullerton. That's what they want right now. Golden West has to find a way. Down by 5. You're watching Fullerton College Baseball on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV.
This afternoon's baseball game brought to you by Zombie Donuts here in the city of Fullerton. Zombie Donuts, great variety of specialty donuts. Zombie donut, Death by Chocolate, very popular eyeball donut, cookies and cream, peanut butter, marshmallow, Cocoa Krispies, Cookie Crisp, Fruit Loops, and even the most crazy one, Josh, regular.
Regular donut.
Regular donut.
Get out of here.
Yep.
That's a regular donut, Ryan.
Well, Zombie Donuts has everything right there at 802 East Chapman Avenue, right here in the city of Fullerton, bringing you this Fullerton College baseball game on this fine afternoon here at Hornet Field.
And as we head to the top of the 9th, Nick Vega still on the mound. Dylan Persinger coming up to the plate, followed by Cody Marshall and Gianni Castillo. Josh Calera here with you. Ryan Osborn next to me. Thank you for joining us in today's broadcast. We hope you learned something, and if not, we were entertaining.
And if not, then you go to Zombie Donuts.
And if not, go to Zombie Donuts and they'll make everything better. Or Miller Toyota.
There you go.
Informative, fun game here.
Great movement on that breaking pitch by Vega. Who started out way above the letters, ended up just belt high. Absolutely froze the batter in Persinger.
And he can't get the low and away. So now it's 1-1. Dylan Persinger trying to keep Golden West in this. That one had some late break on it as well. Persinger saw the break, didn't realize it was going to stay in enough. He's got himself a couple hits on the day, 2 for 4. It's in the dirt.
See, we didn't flinch that time. We kind of moved.
We kind of just moved out of it. You never know. You never know how it's coming through. We'll be okay, though. One of these days, I'm going to bring my catcher's mask. Just sit here and just call a game without a net. It's the new future there, Ryan. And that's going to be on the outside. So now the count is full. So Vega breaking out some more breaking balls this inning. Last inning was all about getting that one batter in McGuire. And there's the fastball, and that is the high chopper. And he got him at first base. Brett Halash with the absolute cannon. He had to wait, but he got the throw, and that's going to be the first out of the 9th inning.
Third baseman like to double clutch. bring the ball back to their glove to keep themselves in rhythm and fire over to third. You're going to see the replay here. You see Persinger running down the first base line just in time. Stretch out by Balbuena. Halash, great job of, once he got the ball, just get it out.
And once again, like clockwork, Cody Marshall will drive the ball into the alleyway, thinks about second, stays at first. That's a good play there to cut it off by O'Banion. And Cody Marshall swings at another first pitch and gets his 4th hit of the day. So Cody Marshall, 4 for 4 on the day with a walk. Came around to score last inning. In his 5 at-bats, he's seen a total of 11 pitches.
Some great breaking action from Nick Vega. Really snapping the wrist at the release point. Gets some late action.
So 11 double plays on the year for Fullerton. They're looking for 12 to call this one a ball game. That's going to be popped up out of play. So the count is now 0-2. Hit some roofs. Didn't hit a car. Gianni Castillo sitting on 2 strikeouts. And for the 5th consecutive at-bat, he has an 0-2 count. It's so weird how this part of the lineup for Golden West works. And that's going to be strike 3 on the outside breaking ball, the hat trick for Mr. Castillo.
Castillo has just turned into a song lyric. Hey, hey, what can I do to get on base?
Nothing today has worked for him. 3 strikeouts, hit into a double play. Cody Marshall looks like he might have his leadoff base hit again go to waste with Michael Fuchs here at the plate, who is 1 for 4, a single and reaching on an error. So Vega, throw over to first. Marshall getting a little liberal with his lead there. Pitch from Vega is chopped on the left side. It's going to be off of his foot. Just getting the practice throw in is Halash. So he's going to have to try to step in there and do it again. The worst thing about that is like taking a ball-peen hammer and just smacking your ankle with it. That's what that feels like. You want to try it right now, Ryan?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, there it is. We'll leave it to the players out there. So Michael Fuchs at the plate. 1-1 count. 2 outs. Fullerton leads by 5. They lead 9-4. Vega with the pitch. That one's a chopper that stays in. Vega takes it himself. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning and the final out of the game. The Fullerton Hornets come away with this one 9-4 and run their record to 11-2, starting off conference play with the victory. They'll be at the top of the table. This is going to be 2 more games with Golden West. The winning pitcher, Randall Ortiz, 7 1/3, 4 runs, 2 earned, 6 Ks. It's Josh Calera with Ryan Osborn. Make sure you stay tuned for the next broadcast right here on SportsNetUSA.net in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. The final score, Fullerton 9, Golden West 4 here at Hornet Field. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your day.